you doing? Tony Wasinski, official ad reader of the podcast. Just got the ice out. Just got the beers. Just waiting for Frankie Bergasetti. Oh, here he is, Frankie Bergasetti.
Hey, how you doing? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, you're out of breath. What's the issues?
Don't take much for me to be out of breath, though. One flight of stairs. That's it.
Is that, well, you had to carry, what do I see? Is that a 12-pack of the bottles?
It's a 12-pack of the bottles. You got it. I couldn't find the ponies, but it's okay. I got the 12-pack of the bottles, Miller Lite.
Can I tell you a secret?
Yes.
I heard them rattling when you were coming up the stairs. I heard
ya?
the bottles clinking together. I knew it was ready for Soxtober and
little
Miller
clink,
Lite.
little huff and puff.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
My nephew Dave should be here in about 20 minutes.
Oh,
He's
my
a little
God.
stressed out
He's so excited to watch the White Sox, and Miller Lite's going to be with him all the way through.
Do you think there's a better beer pairing than Miller Lite for a guy like my nephew David?
No, because it's dependable. And White Sox Dave, he's not the most dependable guy, but he enjoys dependability. He looks for it any way he could find it, and that's with Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Redline to find the delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. It's Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Hey, win or lose, I know they're going to have a couple cold ones. Have a great day.
Absolutely.
Hey, how you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Chicago sports fans. This is Barstool Carl.
And White Sox Dave.
Chief.
Eddie.
And this is Redline Radio.
Get your head in the game, Ed.
An all gas, no breaks podcast brought to you by Barstool Sports Chicago, Miller Lite, and your AL Central champion, Chicago White Sox. Dave, we've got a loaded preview for our diehard loyal White Sox fans that have been here with us since day one. We're going to get to that in a little bit, but let's do a pulse check, Dave.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling grand. I'm ready to fucking go. I'm ready to take on the Houston Astros, me versus that entire 26-man.
Are you
I want
happy
at bats.
that you don't have that distraction of the other team of the American League now that they're gone?
The Yankees?
Yeah.
It was such a win-win because everything that I've said about the Yankees is 1,000% true, and I didn't think that they would have posed a risk to the White Sox had they met in the ALCS.
Ugh.
I wanted them so fucking bad, but the good thing is they lost in a one-game playoff in the wild card, and I get to troll them anyways.
Why do you think they would have?
I mean, I think they give him a game. I think Dave's, they
they might have.
You guys were 2-4
the White
against
Sox,
them this year.
top
You're
to
24
bottom,
and 31 against teams
They were
above 500.
They were 1-5 against the Yankees. They lost 3 extra inning games. They were fucking hitting Brian Goodwin cleanup. Danny Mendick was hitting leadoff.
You had depth
just
issues.
shit like that.
And injury issues. Yeah, I think on
like,
paper the White Sox look better.
They're a better team top to bottom when fully healthy, and the White Sox are fully healthy. I don't know how many times I've had to fucking say it to people, not you guys I'm talking about. I'm talking about
Hubs.
Just the baseball fans in general, no matter how big or small of a baseball fan you are. It's like the White Sox lost their best players for 75% of the season. They won the division by 13 games. Like, they're healthy now. It's a different team now than what you saw in July.
So why are you so happy the Yankees lost?
Because why would I not be? Why would I not be? I mean, it was, like I said, it was a win-win. If the Yankees won and then went on to beat the Rays and the White Sox beat the Astros, I would have been happy.
Carl,
Yankees
what don't you understand that he's tired of these Garrett Cole profile picture, greasy-looking motherfuckers in his DMs? What part of that don't you understand?
Are they greasy looking or are they Garrett Cole looking motherfuckers?
They're greasy. They're disgusting. They're subhuman. Every last one of them.
You like Gabagool, though.
Honestly, I don't even know what Gabagool is. Is it salami?
Yeah.
Stop being discriminatory to Italians, Dave.
I'm allowed to be because my brother did the 23andMe test and there's Italian blood in the side.
Well, I don't approve of it.
I don't need your approval. I'm one of them. I can say that.
Absolutely fucking horrible. 0 stars and I'm pissed.
That movie stunk. Chief finally saw it.
I watched it.
What'd you think, Chief?
I gave it I did it on like a pass-fail thing. I gave it a pass.
Okay.
I thought I was entertained the whole time, and then when it ended, I was like, "What did we just do there?"
If you ever saw, like, will
but
you?
I never felt the urge to like turn the channel. If that makes sense.
I won't.
Which I think says something.
Will you ever go out of your way to watch it again?
No, but it's also that's another like test of mine that if it's on TV, then I would probably
flip to it in commercials or something.
Yeah,
like on a Saturday morning.
Yes, exactly.
All right, better movie Many Saints of Newark or quarterback Teddy Bridgewater? Like if you guys had to pick
Teddy's
one.
better.
Okay.
Teddy's better.
Teddy's better.
Really, Dave?
Whoa, even from Dave.
I mean, I like. You guys have such a way of misconstruing words because you have scrambled egg brains, Terry Schiavo mashed potato
We
brains.
have such
Oh.
ways. We
Oh.
do.
And
We are the ones who misconstrue.
you guys can't. You guys automatically think that me saying he's not good means me thinking that he stinks. I think Teddy Bridgewater.
Wait.
He's
He's
not-
not good.
And stinks, but those are not the same thing.
I think he's no, they're not.
You're right, because not good is saying
It
it's
could be average.
Yeah, like you can
I
be a
think
lot
he's
of
an
things.
average NFL quarterback, and that's it. You specifically use the word good.
I think
I
he is.
disagree with that. So lucky for us, we got access to Wikipedia, my favorite website on the internet.
Yep.
And this is in alphabetical order by teams, by their starting quarterback. So can I get a tally from someone running?
Tom.
Where's our intern?
Well, Ed's on the phone over here.
Yeah, I'll get a tally.
Okay, Ed, Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray is better than Teddy Bridgewater.
One.
Okay, Matt Ryan,
No.
I like Teddy better.
Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
I at this stage in his that's a tough debate, right?
That is not a tough debate.
With Matt
It's-
Ryan?
Matt Ryan. I think that's debatable, yeah, at this stage of his career.
Yeah.
For sure.
Matt Ryan's not better than
It's a
Teddy
stalemate.
Stalemate.
Yeah.
you had-
I
if
would
you-
say
If you had one game to win, would you rather have Matt Ryan?
I
or
would
Teddy
rather
Bridgewater?
have Matt Ryan.
I'd rather have Teddy.
it depends on what I need more
Neither.
circumstances. Yeah.
Um,
But stalemates don't count for. At the very worst, Matt
Yeah.
Ryan is in the same category of
Yes.
Teddy Bridgewater,
Okay.
which we've established to be the third tier of quarterbacks in the NFL.
All right,
There's tier
let's make this quick
tier
'cause there's
two,
32
and then the
NFL
Teddy
teams.
Bridgewaters.
all right,
Yep.
correct.
Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson, easy.
You say he's better.
better.
Yes.
All right, there's two.
Josh Allen, obviously easy. Sam Darnold, worse. He stinks.
Hold on, 4. Do we have 3 total now?
We have 3.
Okay.
3 yeses. Justin Fields, TBD. I would obviously roll the dice on Fields. I think.
Fields is a much higher ceiling. Yeah.
Yes. Joe Burrow, higher ceiling. Baker Mayfield, that's easy. Dak's one of the best quarterbacks in football.
We're
That's
going a little
easy.
fast
Wow,
here. We're
this
going
guy.
fast here. So are you saying you take Joe Burrow right now in
Yes.
a game to win over
Oh,
Teddy
yeah,
Bridgewater?
absolutely.
Chief?
I'll give him Burrow.
All right, so Burrow's 4, Mayfield's 5.
Prescott.
See, I
Prescott's
actually,
6.
I actually think if you put Teddy Bridgewater on the Browns, they're probably the same team as what Baker gives them.
You're fucking crazy.
I don't love
I-
Baker Mayfield.
I don't.
Baker
lo- I
Mayfield's a
don't,
good quarterback.
He's
not
a lot
great.
cooler than he is at playing football.
Yeah, I would
he's
agree.
he's turned into a good quarterback.
But
Dave.
he's more of like a manager, the same
he's
way
he's
Teddy
better
is.
than a manager. He's a little better than a manager.
I would argue that he has more talent around him than basically any quarterback in football.
Yeah, I
That's not
think
what
you're
we're arguing.
overrating Baker Mayfield.
I think
a
you're
little bit.
overrating Baker.
Okay,
So we'll
then
get
we get to
Are
Teddy-
we at 5 or 6 now?
I don't. Dave's going rapid fire.
Yeah, you got to
We got
slow
so
down
many
here,
big-
David. Dak would be 6 if we say Baker's 5. Should we say Baker's 5?
But
I'll
I
even
don't
give
think
you a 5.
I would take Baker over. Like no one would take Teddy over Baker.
No,
Not for a
nobody else.
season or for the future. We're saying for a game right now. To
You
win.
would
No,
take
I
Teddy
think-
over
no,
Baker.
that's
No,
not the
I'm
question.
not.
I think
That's
it's
not the
very,
question.
I think if you put, I think it's very close between those two.
I think
Okay.
you're crazy.
So you
Okay.
think Baker's in the 3rd
Yeah, I
tier?
don't-
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, I don't-
Maybe
All
top
right,
of it.
Jared
Baker's
Goff,
better
no.
than Teddy.
Aaron Rodgers, yes.
Yep.
So that's what, 6?
That's 7.
7. Davis Mills, no. Carson Wentz, no. Trevor Lawrence, ceiling, obviously.
No.
Not right now, no. I didn't even like him. Patrick Mahomes, yes, obviously. Derek Carr,
8.
yes.
9. Wait.
I don't know that Derek Carr's a slam dunk either. But keep going.
Justin Herbert, yes.
Yes.
Stafford,
This is
yes.
stupid.
Yes.
10, 11.
Another guy you and I actually agree on, Jacoby Brissett. I would say yes. I
No
like
way.
Jacoby.
Jacoby
They're
Brissett-
I
this is-
love Jacoby, but
he's
I
the
think
same
Teddy-
quarterback.
Did you see
They're very
anything of
similar.
last week?
You guys are like Jacoby Brissett's looked really bad.
I mean, he's toast.
Like really bad. I was actually going to come on here and be like, "Hey, you need to announce your Jacoby Brissett love."
He looks
I
so
do look-
bad
Yeah.
that you can't really
Holds
even,
onto the ball forever. Like they are bad. He has not played well.
All right,
I thought
then-
he looked fine when he came in relief of Tua, but I would admit that last week he was bad. But
Hey,
I think
look
the
ahead,
sample
too.
size is small.
Kirk Cousins.
I think Teddy's better than Kirk Cousins.
Nope. Mac Jones.
Eddie, why are you
TBD.
shaking your head?
He's not.
Teddy or who?
Kirk is better than
I
Teddy.
I
Kirk is
don't.
definitely better than Teddy.
I'm kind
Mac
of.
Jones, TBD.
Teddy's better than Mac Jones right now.
Yeah, he is.
Right now, for sure.
But I did like Mac Jones' pocket presence.
Jameis, I would take Jameis. Daniel Jones has been awesome this year. The Giants stink.
I mean, Dave.
What?
You can't just say he's been awesome.
He's been
year.
a top 5 PFF quarterback this year.
Oh.
And Eddie's a big subscriber to PFF.
You can go look it up.
I mean, I'm not denying.
He's got 10 touchdowns and 2 picks so far this year, I believe, is what I saw. I mean, that's the case.
What are Teddy's numbers showing?
Teddy's 3-1 on a Vic Fangio led Broncos team.
Zach Wilson,
no.
TBD,
Teddy.
but no.
Yes.
Jalen Hurts, no.
Hey.
Roethlisberger at this point, yeah, he's no. Jimmy, no. Russell, yes. Brady, yes. Tannehill, yes. Heineke, I
don't
like.
see, like,
Tannehill's out, man. Tannehill's out since the quarterback coach or the offensive coordinator left.
Yeah,
He's still listed on Wikipedia as their starter.
No, I'm saying
no.
he's out like he stinks.
like I think Teddy and Tannehill are probably pretty similar too.
No one's taken Teddy over Tannehill.
I think right now we've got
I think
13.
it's a discussion.
No, it was way more than that. It was like 20.
No,
No,
it
we have
wasn't.
13.
And then
Where
Taylor
did you
Heineke,
hear
who I
he had
like.
10 and 2? He has 4 touchdown passes.
And he's like a fumble machine. Like he
on,
has a
hold on,
turnover.
hold on,
every-
hold on.
This is an exercise in arguing with White Sox. Dave.
I
But
don't hate Daniel Jones.
But like Daniel Jones.
Sorry, you're right. This is not.
Yeah, but the Daniel Jones
My
thing
fight, too.
is that
Get in on it.
He was the offensive player of the week this week. Daniel Jones was.
Yeah, he
That's
threw for
1 week
400
win.
yards.
Right, but
He's
Daniel
awesome.
Jones, it was like a big thing earlier this year because it was the first game of his career where he did not have a turnover.
I'm sorry. What I saw was this. He's got 2 interceptions in his last 10 games. I thought that was talking touchdown to touchdown ratio.
Confabulation.
There you go, Ed. Good word. Nevertheless, you use the word good to describe Teddy Bridgewater. He is an average quarterback. Average does not equate good. It doesn't equate bad. He is an average quarterback.
I think he's
You
a
acted
guy.
like we didn't just go through 32 fucking
But
teams.
like he's a guy that you can win with, which he has shown, and he's a guy that can get you to the playoffs. And like, look at him this year. If you want to talk about a guy with no interceptions, Teddy Bridgewater. He got knocked out of the last game. Otherwise, who knows what happens in that game? But he's got 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, 72% completion. Like 264 and 2 touchdowns, 328 and 2 touchdowns, 235 and no interception. Last week against Baltimore, they were still in that game when he got knocked out, and I think the next play, they had 2 guys get knocked out in like back-to-back plays. That was like the end of the game. So like he's a game manager, but I think the discussion went back to like Teddy, or that started with like a Teddy versus Mitch thing. I'm like, I think they'd be better off with Teddy, and you were like, no way, and that's where this all started. And Dave is,
All right.
my parking's expired.
Do you have the app?
Yeah, I do. It won't let me do extend.
okay. So I think
I don't
well,
want to get food because I got parking tickets.
should we just
How
wait?
many? No, we could. Let's just workshop it for a second
so
until Dave comes back. I feel
yeah.
like the audience owes.
He's very concerned about getting the boot.
Yeah, which he is notorious for that.
Which,
I
by
think
the way,
he's-
if you go to Google and you just type in City of Chicago parking tickets, you
Dave.
click 2 links. You are instantly prompted in a position where you could just pay him. You don't have to go in anywhere. You don't have to talk to anybody. They
pretty
take
easy.
PayPal.
Yeah.
It is the easiest thing.
They make it pretty easy on you.
My favorite is the one time he said he got the boot because he went into a liquor store and it was some guy, and it's like Dave's arch enemy.
Yeah.
He's by the
I know
on
the liquor
Division.
store. Yeah, it's a, what? Okay.
On Division. Where did he say he's going?
He's gonna be right
He's
back.
got to go move the car.
It's on Division. There's some guy
Yeah,
who just
it's like Division and Damon.
he camps out by a liquor store, and
Right.
Dave ran into Chase one day, and he
Yeah.
came out and he had a boot on his car.
Yeah, it's Division and Damon. There's that Collectivo. Then the kitty corner from the thing that he's talking about is a Chase Bank. And then there's like a little like I think it's like
Yeah.
a Persian
I got a
restaurant.
fucking boot.
Yeah,
He's like,
and
this
a liquor
fucking guy.
store.
I walked out. I started filming him.
Oh, probably trying to put him on blast.
Yeah,
This was before I think he started working.
yeah.
there.
This is when he was living on Augusta, and he was getting he's got booted like 4 times in a year, which might be a record. It might be a record.
Yeah, the City of Chicago, the parking, like they have his Nissan Altima,
Yeah.
like a picture of it hanging up on the sign when the people go out to.
The
But my
funny,
made
favorite
the
thing
meters.
is he is the ultimate trump card against you because you got a ticket driving his car.
yeah, but like if you open up his glove box, and like that was a thing. If we're gonna be totally honest, I borrowed his car, which he volunteered. I drove home and I parked it in front of my house, and then I was breaking up with a girlfriend, and like left, like while I was unloading the car, and like we were just sitting there like talking, and it just ran a little bit long. But I was like parked in front of my own house with the flashers on. It was bullshit. But the other thing with Dave is that there have been many times where he opens up his glove box and like tickets just fall out of it. He's a notorious, like he's a scofflaw. He's he's getting like red light tickets, parking where he's not supposed to. He gets them. There's a reason he gets booted more than anybody in the city.
I also want to bring Danny in here. Sit down for a second. When he also let Dave borrowed his car once, and didn't he park it like so far into the line it was like preposterous?
Yeah, he parked it in a tow zone. And I was like, you can't just park my car in a tow zone. And he's like, but I bought you dinner like 2 weeks ago.
Seems like a false equivalency.
Yeah. You remember this.
Yes, I do. And it was like so obvious of a tow zone. Like so obvious. But we're just talking because he's moving his car. He's like, I don't want to get a boot. He holds the record for boots in the city.
He's got a trunk full of tickets, that guy. And he's not paying off any of them.
Then he thinks people are out to get him. Like the city's out to get him while he's got a trunk full of boots or a trunk full of tickets.
The tickets don't go away. He'll have to register his car, or like you have to get your sticker license updated. And if you don't at least make some attempt, like I've had it before where I've had to go renew a city sticker, and they're like, okay, it's $200 plus $1,300 in
what you owe.
Yeah, like all the random shit. You're just like, yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna stuff it. And I'm actually not that bad with it. You know, it would be like a ticket here and there, you know, like driving around the loop for work and stuff. Realistically, how much do you think Dave owes in parking tickets?
Oh, my God.
Do you think it's
so
over
much.
$3,000?
The other thing.
I don't know.
Because that's delays.
You know what I do know, though? None of them were his fault.
Well, that's what I was going to say, too. Another thing he's always said is he's always like claimed, like, I'm a great driver. Like, I've never been in any accidents like this and that. I've been in his car probably like 5 times. I think he's been in an accident twice.
What do you mean?
Well, like not an accident, but like
bumper.
Yeah, one time this car like kind of scraped him. He got out. It was so funny. And then the other day, probably like 2 months ago, I walk up. I'm like, "Yo, Dave, was that like he got a bad ding on the side of his door?" I'm like, "Dude, what happened?" He's like, "Oh, I was backing out and I think I hit your car one day." I was like, you just never told me. Like, I don't care. My car is a piece of shit, but he just like completely dragged his car and just didn't tell me.
I think his Nissan Altima is like a big carjack threat now too, because like the technology's not.
I have a couple more things to say, Dave. No, you don't. I want to talk about how Dave rents out his car.
We're back. The car is parked.
The car is parked in our spot because they're no longer doing construction in the alley behind our office.
Any controversy or conflict while you were trying to repark the car?
No, none at all, actually. None at all.
Outstanding.
I got my car from the street, which the parking meter was expired. I moved it to the back. It took about 2 minutes, and that's all there is to it.
Well, we missed you while you were gone. Hey, huge news while you were out reparking the car, Dave.
Justin Fields' name starter, I heard?
You suck. Yeah. Well, what, Ed?
Well, yeah, huge news.
I love it. Right?
Yeah. Also huge news, you can get your ADHD medication at Innovative Care.
Well,
InnovativeADD.com. Is that the website?
Yep, InnovativeADD.com. You must be an Illinois resident. They take insurance. Most other companies don't do that, so that's why Innovative is the best.
Is it just one of those online stupid websites?
No.
Absolutely not.
It's not.
It's a real medical clinic.
Okay. With a website.
It does have a website.
InnovativeADD.com.
Right, but this is not for one of those like online only refill services. This is a real medical clinic. They're based here in Chicago. These are medical providers you can trust. You definitely want to start to use them for ADHD management, but you can also turn to Innovative for all sorts of other things related to your primary or urgent care.
Yep. Go do that. They're compassionate. What was you laughing at?
It's just a good yup.
Yeah, good Daryl Sheets.
Yep.
Their providers are compassionate and kind. They remove the frustration from getting ADHD medicine. Like we said, go to InnovativeADD.com. Must be an Illinois resident, and they take insurance.
Get focused with your ADHD medication.
Yep.
And get better results from InnovativeADD.com.
Go do it. InnovativeADD.com. Yeah, Justin Fields the starter from here on out.
Yeah.
which is significant. We said on Tuesday's show it felt weird. Something felt like something fishy was going on.
Oh, was it because on the 4th, which was Monday, Matt Nagy got up there and said as soon as Andy Dalton's healthy, he's going to be our starter. And then 48 hours later, it's like this: Justin Fields is a starter going forward. This is Justin's time. He's our guy.
Do you think he got put under the heat lamp a little bit?
I have no idea. Like, that's the thing where it's just like you can't even guess what's going on in this guy's brain anymore, because on Monday, 2 days ago from when we're recording this, he got up in the exact same chair, exact same press conference setting, and said, no, once Andy Dalton is healthy enough to start, he will start.
Maybe they hadn't had an opportunity to talk to Andy Dalton yet. Is the only thing I can think of.
That's
because there could be some nuanced contract language where like Andy Dalton gets paid, or like I don't know.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, so you play the game on Sunday. I think everybody would agree the Fields look very good, and the Bears got the win. You go in, you have your team meetings, get all your treatment on Monday. Tuesday, so nothing changed on Monday. Tuesday is an off day. They come back in and meet the media again for the first time since you met the media on Monday, and it's a completely different story. So
what if they had meetings with, like, maybe sat down with the quarterback coach and Laser, and it was like, hey, Matt, like, we know you're loyal to Andy, and we know what pays, but like, we honestly were a worse football team. Like, do you think he could come around on that? Probably not.
It's just like, I don't know. It's just like the guy. Look, I think it's the right decision, so I'm glad that they made the decision. But it's just frustrating because it feels like he can't get anything right, even the language around the situation.
I think that's the least of their worries, though. Who gives a shit?
It just makes it. I wouldn't
perception.
Does Eddie like it?
I wouldn't give a shit if he doesn't. If this was like the first dumb thing that he's done.
Fair.
It's like it's just like one more thing. It's like, come on, man.
I like that we've seen two trends now take place.
What are the two trends?
Didn't call the plays on Sunday.
Yep.
And he didn't stick to this fucking plan because that's his problem. Like, it's so deep and like he's like a deep in his ways guy.
He's stubborn.
That's what it feels like. Like, no, like we're gonna go this. We're gonna go through the play sheets. We're gonna, I gotta look at this. Gotta look at the game plan. Gotta look at the scheme. All right, fuck you. You're clearly not good enough to do this, Matt. And then the same thing with this. Like hearing this, they definitely had a set number of games that they wanted, right?
Probably
had to have.
But they always talked about, or speculated. There was leaked from a million different sources that they had targeted Week 4 against the Lions at home as like a soft landing. That was a story from Glazer and everybody else going all the way back to August. So it's like we've passed that point. You won the game. He looked good. It wasn't like a redo of like the Cleveland thing where it's like, holy shit, you just don't want to play this guy because you're gonna fuck him up. But he played well. And then you come out on Monday out of that, and it's like Dalton's still the start. It's like, I don't know. It's just, it doesn't matter, I guess, but it's just like, It's just annoying.
That's what I was trying to get at. It's
I mean, listen, nobody thinks that this guy should be the head coach anymore. So that's neither here nor there. But I'm encouraged at the fact that someone's getting him to break this mold, or like some self-realization.
Whether it's him or someone inside the building, like at least it's different than what we.
I mean, is he just like the Queen of England at this point?
Dude, what if he fucking breaks through though, and he's just what if he breaks through and it's not unrealistic after we've seen what the Dolphins looked like after that Raiders game. The Raiders kind of got their butts beat by the Chargers. That was not a close game.
Mm-hmm.
Is it reasonable to say the Bears have a much better chance than public perception suggests? They get to 3-2, Fields looks good, and we're sitting around on Packers week being like, well, they got to beat us at home, and no, because the Packers are starting. The Packers secondary is literally nothing right now.
I'm so bearish, to be honest.
But if I'm bearish too, But at 2-2 and all the shit we've seen, but if we go into LA. If we go into Vegas and we win, we don't even have to win convincingly. We could get back on the plane 3-2.
I mean, the Raiders have a winning record, so I think whoever would be pretty happy with getting that win.
Cincy's 3-1.
Are you starting to get away from bearish and maybe a little bullish leading into that
if
Packers
they
game?
win?
Are you willing to be vulnerable with the Packers coming in home?
Yeah,
this is exactly what it
is. Game, that's what I'm saying.
Someone tweeted us that meme of the little life cycle of the Bears. Yeah. Where it's embarrassing loss, bounce back win where they look decent, followed by hope, right back to embarrassing loss. And it's just I kind of butchered it there.
Okay,
But
so
you
what
get the
they're going
point.
to do, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
They're going to struggle and still lose this week. Then they're going to get blown out by the
Packers.
They're
Then
gonna
the
come
next
back
week
and-
they're going to win a good ball game where we're like, okay, if they can do this, and then it's just never-ending cycle.
Yeah.
Never-ending story.
I
Like
don't
that
know.
big flying dog.
That thing that you said though, Ed, where it's just like, well, at least, like I said, like he might just be the Queen of England. Like you give up and you get morale high and you face the media, but Laser's calling the plays, someone else is naming the starter, and that's the way it is. So I don't know. Like I don't even know. It seems like he doesn't even like have a role. Like he's an advisor instead of
Queen
a
of
head.
England, she influences policy in some
Sure,
respects.
sure. Like they have to form a government and go meet with the Queen, and she like signs off or whatever.
She's also the longest reigning monarch in the history of monarchs. So I think that would be if that's like a trend for Nagy, Nagy's gonna be here for like 40 years, just perpetually going 10-7.
That would be bad. But yeah, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
a
of
weird.
course,
The
if they
dynamic
win-
seems weird, but yeah.
If they win a couple in a row and if Fields looks good again, yeah, I'll be excited for Packer Week.
Well, is it? It's just Raiders and so Lions and Raiders a couple in a row.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I
and
thought. Okay.
and it's like obviously what we saw from the Browns game was so bad that it takes us down to like literally rock bottom.
Right.
And then you see him come out against the Lions, and it's like, well, there's a couple receivers that are open. He's putting them in stride. The Mooney ball, that the one-handed catch, great play for Mooney. That probably could have been a better throw, but you're at least at the point where it's like, this is so much better than the Browns game. So just as fans, like I feel like we're in a position to like build momentum and hope and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this, if they go out and they play terribly, then the Packers week lead up is a lot easier for us emotionally because we're like, yeah, whatever, we're gonna get
Whatever
fucking
happens,
steamrolled.
yeah.
But like if they go out and they play well and we're like, holy shit, a second, and legitimately the Packers defense, there's holes. Like you can, you can go out and put up fucking 30+ points against that team. And
Can Matt Nagy do that? Or Laser?
I'll say I didn't think I should have anticipated this because I thought after the Browns game, like that would be it. We'd just be like, yeah, whatever. We're fucking bad. We're gonna win 5 games.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, should we really take that much into stock for beating the Lions, who are probably what?
A bottom 5 team.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what are we, like 22?
Yeah.
It did look different though.
I know, and that's where like I don't want to fucking
Yeah.
No money.
I don't want to market correct you here, but
It's one. Yeah. I know what you're saying,
Yeah.
but I think the whole formula for the Bears, it's just going back to like the cycle talk. It just doesn't change. If they create 3 turnovers in a game, then they're gonna have a chance. And Fields gives them. I think he gives them a chance to extend plays and make things happen. That I don't know. Like what we say, they were getting 6 points.
it was
5.5
5.5
open.
So, okay.
Probably closes higher.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that. Like I'm sure the money line will be attractive. I don't think it's like if you had asked me after the Browns game, could they beat the Raiders? I would have said it was impossible.
Yeah.
I don't think it's impossible anymore.
I know, and that's crazy that you're judging that off of a Lions win.
Yeah, but it's also because the Raiders don't look that. I'm saying the Raiders don't look that good
Yeah.
relative to what we thought they were after that Browns game. Where it's like, well, no, like
And it's also I would also say the Browns, their personnel is like when they have Garrett and Clowney and the guys that can get after the quarterback, like they're probably the team. Like they might be a worse matchup for the Bears than almost any team in the league. Because like our biggest weakness would be tackles and scheming and game planning around that, and their greatest strength is getting after the passer. So it's like a perfect storm that results in what we saw. And then you remove the Nagy scheme factor, and you remove Myles Garrett, and it's all of a sudden it's like, well, not every team has Myles Garrett, so maybe you can do a little bit.
Sure.
Very well said, Ryan.
Hey, thanks, Dave.
White Sox Dave, what's your score prediction?
21-18 Bears.
I like that. Take the under.
Actually, no, I'm going to change it. I'm going to go 24-21.
I am interested a little off script from the actual gameplay itself. Dave, game plans for Wednesday or for Sunday, because the White Sox are announced to play. I think it's 7 p.m. The Bears are playing at 3-ish. Like this
Marathon.
is
It's marathon day, too.
I feel like
Yeah.
there's a lot of people listening to the show that are that like Sunday could be like Christmas for you guys.
Oh, yeah, it's
Us.
going to be Christmas.
Well, not you guys.
So we're recording this. It's Wednesday, a little after 1 p.m. I fly out to New York City tonight late. Streaming tomorrow for games 1 and 2. It's complete bullshit that they're 3 p.m. and 1 p.m. starts. Off Saturday, I fly back to Chicago, and then Sunday, massive tailgate in Lot B, and then let's go fucking hopefully win game 3 and sweep the Astros. Hopefully.
So will there be like a Bears watch event in Lot B that you will be at?
So actually Tom was there with me, weren't you? When it was Notre Dame versus Toledo.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, there
that was
people,
awesome.
Yeah, people had TVs going, like it was a Bears tailgate basically from Lot B. So hopefully there's a few TVs out there, but no offense to the season that it is or the Bears or the show, but I'm going to be in White Sox mode. So if I see the game, I see the game. If I don't, I don't. You guys can take it from there. Not that my Bears opinion means anything anyways, but I'm going to be in White Sox.
You just changed your prediction from 21 to 18 to 24 to 21.
Because I think the Raiders offense is good enough to put up 3 scores. So, but I think the Bears can squeak one out.
So am I taking the over or the under, Dave?
What's it at?
I think it's at 43.5, 44.
Yeah, something like that.
I think you just took both sides.
I did. That's why I should be a handicapper in Vegas. I'll go over.
Okay.
I'll go over.
Justin Fields.
But yeah, we do got to get to some grim news though.
It's 44.5.
44.5.
Yep.
What's grim?
Jose Abreu.
Jose Abreu, rumor has it, not traveling with the team.
Ooh, boy.
People are saying COVID. People are saying not. I am pretty sure that he had COVID in January, I want to say.
Regardless, let's just get into this. He has COVID. He's out. Who plays first base?
It'd be Vaughn.
Yeah.
Vaughn and Sheets, and then you'd have to have Goodwin in there, which isn't the worst thing in the world because he rakes against righties.
Where would Goodwin be?
You'd have to figure it out, but it's not obviously Jose Abreu. And it's a gut punch, but nothing's official yet as we record this. And so rumor has it he was in the hospital. So I'm like 95% sure he had COVID, and I know the team's 100% vaccinated. So if he does have COVID, I would assume, unless it was a 1 in a billion shot, that he's asymptomatic. I'm hoping this is the case, and this is all sheer conjecture anyways, and that he's just waiting on negative tests so he can play. But I have no fucking clue what's going on. I know as much as everybody else does, but I do know that he is not with the team right now. I do know that for a fact.
That would fucking suck.
When have they already officially announced the rosters for the series?
10 a.m. on Thursday. So
okay.
Tomorrow morning.
So okay.
Is when they're due. 10 a.m. Central, I believe.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. That is a fucking gut punch no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your fucking leader.
That's your guy.
That's your guy.
Yeah, that's more than a gut punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, but
because I was wondering why the Astros were minus 148 in this game. And
I don't think Vegas knows anything yet.
I have a meatball take about this.
What's that?
That their injuries and everything the whole year has probably mentally prepared them better than any team to lose a guy as important.
That's a fine take. That's not a
Okay.
meatball take.
Okay.
And Tony La Russa is probably the perfect
that helps
manager
too.
to put together some fucked up lineup that actually won't be too inhibited. But for the series being priced the way it is, I think the White Sox are plus 120 for the series. I'm surprised that the Astros are minus close to 150. That's a lot for the opening game.
Big time.
Which would suggest that Jose Abreu would be out.
I mean, how updated are these odds?
Pretty fucking updated. We're talking about the ALDS game 1.
Okay. I don't know. We'll see.
And what was the odds yesterday? Yankees were minus 136 or something?
Yankees were minus
With
130,
Cole.
yeah.
130?
Garrett Cole went 2 innings.
Minus 148.
That's a lot.
This second.
That's a lot.
Yeah, huh.
I don't
That's
overcome.
weird.
Overcome. Next man up.
Does
Andrew
that-
Vaughn's time to shine.
That's my point.
Now, does that make you worried that you're not seeing something?
No.
No.
I mean, it's a...
Lance Lynn has not been Lance Lynn
Lance
that we were
Lynn-
sucking off earlier this year.
He was though in his last start. He was 90, 95, 96 his whole start. They took him out after 5. He could have kept going, obviously. Gio's looked awesome. It's all about Rodon, who I know for a fact they were babying and told him, hey, find the feel of your changeup, find the feel of your slider, work off those 2 pitches, command your fastball. We don't want you going balls to the wall in this final start. You got 10 days, and you can amp it up as much as you want throughout the course of the playoffs. And that's what you're going to get out of Rodon. So, I don't know. It's the emotional swing that it'd be. Oh, here we go again. Fucking
You can't put that out.
Lifeblood.
You can't put that out there. Can't say that.
I'm talking about for me.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, what does it matter for me?
You're the rallying guy.
But people are gonna sniff that out.
I know.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure we will
It sucks.
know this
sucks
afternoon.
for him too.
That's who it sucks for more than anybody.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's just like some fucking false positive or just asymptomatic shit and he tests negative. Fuck this fucking pandemic, man. Fuck it. I don't even know if it's COVID. It could be something else. I don't know. But, I mean, considering the times we're in, I think that is a reasonable assumption to make, even if it's just an assumption. But it just fucking stinks. It stinks.
That hurts to root for a false positive.
That's
like when you were digging around for the bag looking for the microphones.
and
Is it possible it could be anything else?
left the mics.
I did think it was weird because I was at the game on Sunday, the game 162, the last game, and he was the only starter not in the lineup. And I'm like, that seems a little weird. Something stinks.
Yeah.
Because he refuses to take off days. He's a weirdo.
It opened at -145.
Okay. So.
Yeah, but like if what he's saying on Sunday, and he wasn't in the lineup, and they've probably been doing everything. The White Sox are very good at keeping their mouth shut. I think.
Oh, they've
gotten very
notorious
good.
at
It's
it.
actually credit to White Sox Dave because they probably had a meeting. They're like, listen, they put the picture of Dave with the pizza slice up on the PowerPoint projector. Like, this guy's infiltrated us. We need a fucking Cosa Nostra or like what is it? Or we probably brought it up on our dozen
for everybody. Yeah.
Apparently, we brought it up on Dozen Trivia. Our wrong question for the beef stick, which was Umberto. I said Omerta, which I guess is like a Sicilian way of like killing something. No, I don't know what it is.
I think it's like a
you don't say anything.
Thing. Yeah.
I just saw a New York Post
it,
tweet a few minutes ago saying they think they found the Zodiac killer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
He's been
Gary.
dead since
saw
18.
that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
A code of silence about criminal activity and refusal to give evidence to authority.
That's what we listed. Yeah.
That was our Italian beef stick.
Yeah.
Omerta.
But
It's actually Umberto.
I could picture the fucking bag too.
I know. I thought it was Portuguese.
Can I something even? I didn't want to bring it up on the show but my neighbor when I lived on Thomas Street worked for Umberto.
Oh my
That's why
God.
I had like samples from him. Like
He's
all
parking
the
the truck out in front.
No. I mean, but like I had enough in my apartment back then that's how like I got the O part. And I just couldn't finish it. So that's on me. Should have had that one.
That's a good Dozen Trivia episode. Go listen to that. But first, we have a special guest coming in. But before, I think they took the Chevy Silverado in here, and that's why I want to talk about my good friends at ChevyDriveChicago.com. Chevy dealers across the Chicagoland area for all your service needs. Ed, I know you love Chevy.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, it's football season. Hockey's around the corner. It's baseball. You know, we got White Sox in the heat of the playoffs. There's nothing like a season change to remind you to make sure your car is running safely. You got to go to these Chevy dealerships and make sure you get that oil change, the tire rotation. Make sure the tires are all good and everything's in order.
Get the brakes going. Like this is the time of year where like the weather's shitty. You got to get it taken care of first. Do your due diligence on your own car. Make sure everything's good to go. No better place to find a service in a dealership nearest you than ChevyDriveChicago.com.
Yeah. It's the way to go. I mean, you don't want to go to somewhere that's unreliable. You know that these places got to have the best of the best.
So we got a Chevy dealership that I'm going to toss Danny, our little intern twink, the keys to and be like, hey, bitch, go get me a fucking oil change, you little twat. And it was simple as just going to
Twinkie twat.
ChevyDriveChicago.com. So
See a twink or a twat?
Both. Today he's perpetually a twink, but today he was being a twat.
Would you mind if the only time that we're talking about sponsored content we don't be utterly offensive?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Fair.
Because when we get done, then we can be like, you know what I hate about Danny?
Yeah.
I don't really hate anything about Danny. He is conniving.
One more time. Head to ChevyDriveChicago.com to find your local dealer.
Chevy Drive Chicago. ChevyDrivesChicago.com. Look at the fleet. Get some service. All right, so this is where the show pivots into a very special edition Redline Radio.
And we want to be supportive of Dave, okay? This is his time.
Don't
this is what he wanted to do.
fucking patronize me.
What do you mean patronize
No
you?
one's patronizing you at all.
You
right
said you want to have your buddies on. You said you wanted to have all of us get the fuck out of the room. That's literally what we're doing.
You go, don't take this the wrong way,
Okay.
but I don't want you guys in the fucking room when these guys
Yeah,
come
exactly. How am I being patronizing?
in.
We
In
wanted
telling
to
us
be
to get the fuck off our own show,
Have
we
we-
want to be supportive
Yeah,
and say,
so it's
okay, do
like-
we want to argue with
Okay,
Dave about
okay,
whether or
okay,
not this is a good
okay.
idea, or do
You're
we
right,
want to
you're
say,
right.
hey, yeah,
I
floor's
think
yours.
you
were?
should apologize.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
To Eddie or to everybody?
Say I'm sorry with
To
my
Eddie.
name. Say
To
I'm
Eddie.
sorry, Eddie.
I'm sorry, Eddie.
Oh, I haven't
Wow.
heard that in my life. Thank you.
So I
so,
came
so
off
like
his
I
brush
said,
right
no,
there.
no, no. We wanted to. This is what you wanted to do. This is how you wanted to cover the White Sox. You're going to be in New York. We're not going to see you. So this is really it for us.
Which is kind of, I'll be honest, and we're here. I think it's a little unfair that Chief, Eddie, and myself don't get to firsthand witness the White Sox Dave playoff
Yeah, I would have liked
You
to
guys
see
can
that.
like
come out to New York.
fireworks.
No,
Like
I'm
we've
not
worked
gonna.
so hard alongside.
We've seen it all. We've seen it all.
Sitting in the
Yeah.
500 level, carrying the fucking microphones up there.
Yep.
You and I
Yeah,
recording
remember that?
podcasts in my closet. Nobody gives a fuck about for 60-something win baseball teams. Us sitting here making a big deal about, well, I think Nick Madrigal could be really fucking special. Us talking about everything, the Quintana trade, all these things that go back for fucking years. Now they're on the platform, and it's I'll be streaming along watching Dave.
Do you think
Crazy.
do you think the people out in New York remember the 2014 blog about how we're heading into a golden era of Chicago sports?
I was a little off on that one, but they should have. They should have been heading into one because they had a fucking awesome core and didn't build around it. They had to trade Chris Sale.
But but like you
Worked out
wrote
now.
that, and like all of Chicago sports is cratered.
Yeah, never do that again.
Like when he spikes the dip spit, it should be landing on us.
Yeah.
You know, like we
Yeah,
should
it's
be
sad.
able to.
It's disappointing, but it wasn't. It's not Dave's call. It's not our call. It's,
No, I mean he could go to the Jersey house with Za.
But yeah, Dave, we it's almost like we are AAA and we're getting ready for the playoffs, and you get called up for September call-ups.
That's
And we're
exactly how it
We're
feels.
the,
What
we're
the
the, we're the
fuck?
Black Aces.
Yeah,
we
what the
do all the
fuck?
work. We don't get any of the glory.
Yeah, the fuck.
Yeah.
But Dave, sincerely, good luck. I'm very excited to watch you on the main stage, and it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I wish
It's gonna be great.
I wish there was like an Astros person in the office that you hated.
Megan making money.
It's hard to hate her.
Yeah, she's
I can't hate her.
Why, Dave?
Specifically, I wish Hubs was
You could probably hate her.
I wish Hubs was a.
No,
Well,
I met
that's
her.
right.
She's
Like, and
fun.
don't get me wrong. If this were the second round, like if the Red Sox do move on, then it's all like,
go.
get out there, Dave.
Yeah.
I want to see you mano a mano with Portnoy, for sure. But you're right.
man.
With no
Yeah,
Astros
this is-
person,
It wouldn't.
it's
It would
different.
be. It would be. I mean, Dave. He would get bullied. You get it from all angles. If it was Jared, Portnoy, Coley,
You think that
Feidelberg,
scares me?
Carabas, it's 5 voices against 1. That's
I'll
all
be
I'm
honest,
saying.
I think it does scare you. I think going on that live
Not-
stream and sitting in that room with those Lions does scare you a little bit.
Absolutely.
I don't
fucking
think
not.
I don't think it would be scary. I just think it's hard. It could be a little overwhelming.
I think you're too
No.
afraid.
Not at all.
5-on-1.
It's always been like that at this company. There's no other Sox fans outside of Chuck, who's not in content. Za, who's not an actual real Sox fan.
Chuck's been waiting for this moment for
Chuck's
so long.
Chuck is fucking fired up.
Chuck's
right now.
probably sending in fucking T-shirt ideas. I'm gonna sit here. There's some bets for you. Tap into Chuck. Chuck's
yeah.
been waiting for this.
Oh,
we
he's
both-
a
And
fucking-
Chuck Senior. Shout out to Chuck Senior.
Yeah.
Nobody ever shouts out Chuck Senior on Barstool content. Shout out
Oh,
Chuck fucking
does.
Senior.
Chuck Senior makes a good steak.
Well, he's always giving his old man a hard time. Like, hey, my dad didn't think I could do this. You know what, Chuck? Yes, he did believe in you. He just showed it in different ways.
I like Chuck Senior. Met him at a
Good
Blackhawks
people.
Hey,
game.
Chuck
if you
Jr.
need
is
a
a
big
diehard.
quote on your $500 million company,
Go to Chuck Senior.
go to Chuck Senior.
I'm excited for Chuck Jr. as well. I've known him for a while, and he loves the fucking White Sox.
He's
You guys
a-
used to be in the fucking trenches together.
Oh, yeah.
Diehard.
Ta-
Sox
what was that? What did that look like?
It was just
Cutting highlights.
hating our lives every day, just fucking throwing dips in and just talking about how shit sucks.
Now look
it's
at you.
like-
Forbes is writing articles. Chuck Jr. is going to be on the main stage with
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Eddie. It's a big thing.
Yep.
Do we have any closing comments before we get out of here and we let the 108 guys and Ken.W.o in?
No.
No.
How would you introduce the cast of characters that are about to take our seats on Redline Radio?
Me?
Yeah, you. You love these guys.
I would say, yeah. So
You're
I
like
would-
in the
Well, how'd you
108.
start to like him? I know how.
Well, I'll say this guy. I'll say this. Beef Loaf. You want to talk about probably the best name you could possibly choose
Beef Loaf.
is Beef Loaf.
Great name.
That's unbelievable.
Okay, so good name.
And so they're just like they are really at the core of what Barstool started as, and that's just being diehard fans. And that's what they do. They live in the neighborhood. They walk to the game, and all of them. Chorizy-E, my Sox Summer. And I've just we've all created a relationship with them, and obviously Dave has the most. He's met them many times, hung out with them many times, been on the show, cross content. Then Ken.W.o is just he is unbelievable.
He's the only one that
I want him
haven't-
to sit in my seat.
He's the only one I haven't met, and I'm like dying to put a face to his name because he's just.
I can't believe
he's such a.
he has his face out there all the time.
But I haven't seen it, but he is just a preposterous internet character.
He's Gas Money Bob without the irony.
Yeah, I think he's serious.
Yeah, he's dead serious.
Right.
Everything he says is dead serious.
the best takes on White Sox Twitter.
Yep. Kenwell.
Ken.W.o.
Without further ado, White Sox Dave, Section 108, and Ken.W.o.
Whoosh. All right, interview portion. Today's show, we are joined by my good friends, Section 108, and the biggest prick on the fucking internet, Ken.W.o.
What's going on, Dave? How you doing?
I'm doing great. We got play of baseball to talk about today, but did you tell anybody that you were coming on the show today? Other
did
than
not.
these guys, I wanted to surprise the internet with Ken.W.o. Obviously, you guys teased it a little bit, as did I. But welcome.
Thank you
I
very
hate your
much.
guts. And before we get into why I hate your guts, we're gonna take a little. What is this called? Blood of Christ. I don't do church stuff.
It's the sacrament.
The
Yeah, that's
sacrament.
right.
Yeah, the sacrament. So
It's not Jesus juice.
This is for
We know
good luck,
that.
right?
it's a good luck shot, Malort. We're gonna pass it around. Ken, you have to drink it,
I will. Don't worry.
and we're gonna cheers to what
See
is
how
hopefully
shaky my hands are.
11 more
Oh,
wins,
wow.
right?
Yeah,
Is this-
absolutely.
Is this lime flavored for Ken though? That's what I want.
Yeah, the line.
Chorizy-E, your hands were shaky there. I think you
I was
really
shaky,
need the
too.
shot more than most. It's been a long morning.
I get so much shit for every time I pour a shot. For some reason, I just get a little nervous bug where
Yeah.
I'm like, I do the same thing.
You're worried about spilling. Little spillage.
Maybe
you're worried
that's
about?
it. I don't know. But gentlemen, and this I say gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, to everybody listening. As a fan base, we've came a long fucking way.
Damn
Went
right.
through a lot of bullshit, a lot of losing, and we earned this just as much as that fucking organization did. So put them up.
Yes.
There we go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
fellas.
Cheers. Now, I guess we'll start here. Ken's a CPS teacher, so he doesn't really matter. But I want to start with the 108 guys. I know your guys' backstory and everything. I love it. One of my favorite things on the internet. Why don't you guys give a little spiel on how it all started, and we'll just kind of go off the cuff.
You want me to do it?
I like that.
Chorizy, Chorizy,
Yeah,
take it,
Chorizy
baby.
do that. I like that.
And we
everyone
do have a
points-
decent amount of like East Coast listeners that listen just for the banter and shit that
It's
don't
true.
care about teams. So
Yeah,
kind of
right.
introduce yourselves.
For sure. So it's three dudes. So it's me, Chorizy-E, and then it's Beef Loaf.
Hey, baby.
It's who's my brother, and then there's my Sox Summer.
Who's a brother from another mother?
Yeah, and so in
Weddle.
2008, which is coincidentally the last time the Sox were in the playoffs, me and Beef, it was the first time we had more than like $10, so we got some season seats, like just a weekend plan. And then I think it was 2012, my Sox Summer did 50 games for under $500, and this is back when tickets were more expensive. So he was doing all kinds of crazy shit to get tickets, And so he had a whole blog going about it.
Yep.
And so then we met him, and then he ended up marrying one of my friends, and then so we all became like really close, and we're sitting in the stands, and like all the time there was just crazy shit going on because the reason we're in Section 108 with the foul pole right in front of us is that's the cheapest lower level seats you can
Right.
get.
Yep.
So if you want to find where the craziest people are going to be on the lower level, it's going to be in the cheapest seats that they could possibly get. So we just like attracted maniacs,
creatures.
And so,
Yeah.
and like every game, like something different would happen. Like I remember the game, and then you got this on video, and then it blew up on the internet. Was we were sitting there, and this guy came, and he had basically just a feed bag.
Yes.
And like every inning, he had something different. Like the first inning, he pulled out like a hamburger, and then the next inning was a burrito. It was like this bag was like never ending. It was like a magic show.
Yes.
And so he's like digging through this bag, and then all of a sudden, like the wave starts, and this guy, every time the wave came around, just flicked off the camera, or just flicked off the
stadium.
wave. And so we're like, we gotta get this on camera. And so my Sox Summer pulls out his phone, gets it portrait mode, and then refilms it because this guy was so generous with his time that he flicked off the wave 47 times, and he put it up on YouTube and like was like 500,000 hits.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
no
thing.
shit. I don't
And
know
so-
if I've ever. Is it still up there?
Yeah, I think it's just fine. It's not on the 108 account. It's on
No,
my
it's
Sox
on my
Summers account.
personal.
But if it's just like this guy gets it or something,
This guy gets
and
it.
it'll
Yes.
and it'll show up. But
It was on Tosh.0.
we
It's been on a lot of different things.
Not to brag.
Oh, ridiculousness. It wasn't on Tosh. It was on ridiculousness.
we had a couple goofy things like that, and then it was just like we should just start documenting this for ourselves,
Yep.
Right.
just to remember these things because our booze-addled brains aren't going to retain this forever. So we started putting the blog together and just kind of putting out that, and then we were on Twitter, so we started tweeting out things, and like it kind of grew pretty rapidly. So we were like, okay, well, people actually care about this and want to do something. And like I think the coolest thing about what we've done with this is like there are lots of people who would not have gone to a baseball game because they're like, I had no one to go with. So a person who wants to buy a single ticket to a baseball game for a team that maybe their friends don't like comes to the game, sits in 108. And that's the best part of it.
Absolutely fucking love that. And I've done that myself a few times because just like that, you got friends there already, you know. That's a great story. I never heard the YouTube video story.
That's great.
And was it Ken?
No, it wasn't me.
Ken always sits in the upper deck, so
It would have been a bag of Bud Light limes if it were
Bud Light Limes, just
I've never met the guy. We never met the guy. We've never seen him again. And
so this is just a one-off thing.
one time. I mean, I'd seen him there before that game, but have not seen him there since.
Maybe he got
and
banned.
I even wrote like a
Might not be
a
with
blog
us. Who
like,
knows?
hey, well, I mean, the
way
way
he
he was
was eating?
housing those
Yeah.
burritos.
Someone find this guy and bring him back. Yeah,
He was just, he had a flip phone too. Like he legit like pulls out a flip phone and was like,
He's probably a
texting
decathlete
people.
now. We don't
so
even
I don't
know.
know. Like it could have just been, you know what, Dave? It might have just been placed here to help us gain some popularity. You know, that it's like just to start this whole mess.
just a little layup, a little toss me.
Yeah,
right.
I like that.
Cookie for us.
Yeah, and you guys have grown big. It's like you guys have an awesome following. It's been awesome to watch it grow. I love everything about it. And no offense to you two or Ken doesn't really write, but Beef Loaf, I've always said he's my favorite White Sox writer because it's
thank
my
you, baby. I appreciate
favorite
that.
style of writing. There's humor involved. It's not like and no offense to the beat reporters, but it's not like a beat article. But at the same time, I learned something almost every time I read one of his articles. And then Jacob, your pisser. Your bathroom line.
I was gonna say
I read it 2-3 times a
All-timer.
year, and I always laugh.
you like his the best, but mine is your favorite of all time.
That's true.
That's the number
perfect
one.
how
way
to use
put
the
it.
bathroom for adults. Yeah.
And Chorizy-E, sorry, you're just like
No, see, I think my contribution here is that Beef Loaf has gotten used to having to explain all these things to me. So then when he writes it, it's very easy to consume for anybody.
there you go.
Yeah, we look at it as like, how would we talk to people about these things? And that's how we write blogs. You know, some of the stuff you read out there in Sox Twitterverse, it's too highfalutin. It's like, not everyone understands all these topics.
Right.
Explain it so that everybody, all the fans can understand. I mean, we got an awakening, Chorizy, when the White Sox asked us to help out with a beer fest. Even though we're not beer guys. We don't have our own beer or anything. So we help out. We have a stand, and we did a trivia contest to give away some stuff. And I tried to put like super easy questions, and the Sox fans were at the beer fest were batting like 25%. And you realize fans just fan their team. They don't know all this shit. You know, they just want to be out there and enjoy what's going on. And so you realize you need to be writing that direction so that every fan can read this and say, oh, okay, I get something out of that.
I want to know if you guys agree with this or not. And I don't know if this is because of who I follow on White Sox Twitter as a whole, but I think a lot of it has to do with the rebuild because we were kind of forced to do it this way. But I think White Sox fans as a whole, and I deal with a lot of different fan bases, mostly East Coast, a lot of Yankees, Phillies, Mets, Red Sox, blah, blah, blah.
Sorry to hear that.
I get along with some. Mets fans are White Sox fans.
Yeah,
They
Mets
are
fans
the
are like us,
exact
basically,
same fan base. But I've noticed White Sox fans, Ken.W.o doesn't count, are in general, and we'll get to Ken in a minute and his backstory, but I think we got a really smart fan base as a whole. And I don't know if
I
you
would
guys
agree with that.
like and it's not like I'm following small.
I agree.
I would say passionate and then smart, because there's a lot of stupid people that are very, very passionate about it. But
Anybody you'd like to?
No, not at all.
He's talking about Ken.
Dave, I get what
How
you're
dare
saying
you.
though, because when you say smart, it might more mean involved. They know a lot about the team and a lot about the players, and they're like, oh yeah, such and such. Always they're cold. They're on a losing streak or whatever. They kind of are into it. They're way into it.
It's passionate 1,000%. I
Yes.
think is the right way to put it. And even if we have different opinions, and I agree a lot. Jokes aside, with Ken, a lot of times what he says, I don't want to fluff his feathers too much before we get to him. But
What else you can fluff?
I mean, we got the casting couch right in there.
We are taking shots, so.
I mean, I'll
know
take
what's
shots all
gonna happen.
night. I got a flight to catch, and there's not a better beer than the airport beer.
There's
But
no question.
I don't want to say this in a fucking cocky douchey way, but I got the biggest following myself on Sox Twitter. But I try to outsource to a ton of different websites and everything and I never ever want to claim that just because I got a larger following than everybody else that I'm automatically I know what I'm talking about the most. Like I said, I learn something every time I read a Beef Loaf article. Ken, I mean, I know we're
You learn what the wrong thing is when you read Ken.
exactly, and that's
Right.
important too. That's important
dare
too.
We've said that too, Dave. It's just because we do this doesn't make us a bigger fan than somebody that doesn't.
Right.
Right.
We go to 70 plus games a year, but there's still a guy out there. I know there's a guy out there that has not been to a game in 7 years that knows a stat line a hell of a lot better than I do and knows a lot, pays more attention to some of that stuff. Right.
sure.
So that doesn't make me, a better fan just because I'm up in there, drinking tons of beers, and having a good time. It's how you feel about it. So it's same. I appreciate you saying that. That's good. Just because
With
you're the
Ken,
biggest one.
So I'll do the sporkles after you do them to see what I get. I'll get 25% on those things, and those are tough.
Yeah.
I'm 32. I'm a little younger than you guys, but I don't come clean. You're oh, I got 57 out of 62. I'm pissed. I missed a few of them. I knew,
Yeah, I've grown up with the White Sox. My dad was very big into White Sox history, so that's kind of where I got into all that. And I know what I'm talking about when it's talking about White Sox history. Now, there's also some stuff the advanced stats, stuff like that, I don't get into very much. But I like how, I watch them, how they play the game. And I played baseball, and I've coached baseball, so I know how you should play it. And I think we're lacking in Sox Twitter with people that have actually played baseball. They can look up fan graphs and tell you who's doing what when, but they don't know.
Did you guys all watch Eastbound and Down?
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
I hated that show.
It was a fantastic show.
I knew I was going to get that upset.
you see that's
horrible take.
Did you
Horrible
actually?
take.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I watched the whole season. I'm like, this stinks.
Oh,
the only
first season
The
is-
first season. The only part I liked was the parts with Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell with
Ashley
the
Schaefer?
Yeah. No,
He's
that
so-
shit was funny, but the rest of it I didn't get into too much.
So there's a
I should kick you out.
here's Carl. There's
How those Cubs doing?
He hates us, but he's taking our picture. I love it.
There's a line that he has in the first season. I forget what the exact context around it, but he goes, fundamentals are a crutch for the talentless. And it's just it's obviously a satire about a meathead, but to an extent, as I said, that White Sox Twitter as a whole, I think, is a really smart fan base. There is a reliance on advanced statistics a little too much. Eye test does it.
I agree.
I mean, I've said it. I said it 6 weeks ago or whatever. Yoel Moncada, he's 4.5 win player, 4.5 win player on Fangraphs this year. he left a lot to be desired, in my opinion, this year. I mean, he's a good player. Wasn't bad by any means, but like I will side with Ken on this till the day I die. You traded Chris Sale for him. Obviously, there was other pieces involved. He was the headliner. You want him to be that, what we've seen maybe Luis Robert turn into or is turning into.
For sure.
So, like, I don't disagree with everything Ken says, but as I say that, Ken, you haven't spoke much lately. I want to hear your backstory. Obviously, big Sox fan. Tell the world your story.
Okay, so yeah, big Sox fan growing up. I used to go to like 30, 40 games every year. You know, now I coach travel ball, so now I'm not really going to that
And that's
many
what
games
his
anymore.
accolades are. As he's like, yeah, coach baseball. He's coaching his 12-year-old kid. 14 now?
14 now, 14. But I started getting involved with the online White Sox universe back when Scott Reifert used to do a blog. And I'm sure now that the White Sox know that I'm on your show, they will never send anybody here ever again because of all the times I used to swear at him on that blog. He would get disgusted by it. And, you know, that was before the banned list, though, so that I wasn't banned. I was just allowed to go off on him. And from there, like, Southside Sox, the website, was run by...
That was the OG Sox blog.
Right. Yeah. And, you know, that was before Right Now, where now they're social justice warriors on that website. But before that, before that, when Jim Margulis and Southside Larry, these guys were writing, Larry took a bunch of my posts and put it on there in an effort to make me look like a moron, you know. But then he's like, well, Ken's right like 60% of the time. You know, it's the other 40% that's weird. Somebody pointed me out to this. So I joined that site, you know, obviously, because I wanted to stir stuff up. That's what I do best. So I was stirring stuff up on there. And eventually, you said I don't write, but back, you know.
No, I knew you did.
Going back 10 years ago,
yeah.
I did write for them for a while. And then I kind of gave that up a little bit when I got back into the teaching industry, and now I'm on Bad Guy Radio. We do
Shout it out. Shout it out all you want.
We shout out Bad Guy Radio. Me, King Mac, Aussie. You guys know him.
Yeah,
He's crazy, and Justin. We do Bad Guy Radio now, so that's where I'm at. But I started on the Reifert blog on WhiteSox.com. It was just a blog on there, and people still remember me from there. They're like, "Oh my God, you used to start too much shit on there, you know, whatever."
That's what you do best. And I was telling Eddie this. I've told Eddie this multiple times, but I most recently told him this today. Like, you have thicker skin than Dave Portnoy. Dave Portnoy's got to have the thickest skin on the planet. Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem like anything phases you to me.
No, I'll go toe to toe with him.
With anybody. With anybody.
Bring him on. Come on, Prez.
Big matchup.
No, I'm not talking about Portnoy. I'm talking about like what, because obviously, like, I don't want to call it a shtick because a shtick is not genuine.
You know, a lot of people say that, and you're right. I mean, it is kind of genuine. It's like me, but on coke.
Oh, of course.
That's
yes,
you know, I embellish everything, but everything I'm saying I believe in. I like to embellish it, you know.
For sure.
Yeah,
I do the same
That's
thing.
the whole point.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Why are we would not be entertaining if we were just ourselves?
No, you can't.
And even keeled.
You
know?
gotta be like one iota, like, removed from your actual persona to be successful on the internet. I feel like in any realm.
And like, you know, like you're saying with the online stuff, my thick skin. Yeah, one of my best friends in life got paid to talk shit to people on the WWE, Armando Estrada. Mm-hmm. So I mean, he cut everything out he did there on me first. So I've heard it all from my best friends, you know. So if I hear it from them, I can take it from some random internet people,
like,
you know.
It's just funny. You'll get the Shane, is it Shane Hall? What's his name?
Scott Hall.
Scott Hall. The Scott Hall gif or the Shawn Michaels, like, that gif.
Yeah.
And he just, it like brushes it off. But like if someone from fucking New York says something to me, like, I'm snapping back. Like, I can't handle it all the time, you know?
Yeah, I hear you. That's why you hate me.
I don't know, but that's the thing. Like,
he wishes he was you.
There are a lot of people that have DM'd me, like, over the years now. How long have we been yucking out? 5 years, say?
5 years,
6 years. They're like, I can't tell if you hate Ken or really like Ken. I'm like, no, Ken's the best. Like, I fucking love Ken. I just think a lot of his takes absolutely suck ass. But I can remove the person from the shitty take. Like, or for instance, all right, for anybody not in Chicago that doesn't follow White Sox Twitter, here's a list, and you can add or subtract or say what you want of people that Ken hate associated with the White Sox. Currently, Yoan Moncada.
Can't stand him.
Which is...
Well, actually, I like him, but... I don't like him, but I like the idea of him. Like, in 2019, I liked him. But he hasn't... That was the 1 year he had. Before that, I hated him. And I was like, we traded Chris Sale for this fucking guy? He's terrible. And then, now it's like he's just... He doesn't produce enough for me. It's like, what the hell? Everybody's saying, oh, he's a future MVP. No, he's not. Not hitting 12 home runs or whatever it was. Come on.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Then we got Paul Kanerko. This one I'll never understand.
I hated him before the World Series, so I just continued it throughout then.
I mean, how he
got to hold on tight, right?
Yeah,
it's too late now.
I'm not going back now. I'm in on it.
What was it? Game 2, 3-run
Grand Slam.
Grand Slam. Go ahead, Grand Slam.
Built the statue and everything.
I clapped for him that time. That was
is it like a golf
clap? Yeah, I gave him a nice golf clap.
Like it was begrudgingly. Scott Pitsednik won a World Series with a walk-off home run.
Worst trade the Sox ever made. Can't take it.
And then who else is on that list? Off those three. Those are the
Can
three
I ask
big
you a
ones.
question? No, because you're a big proponent of like bad trades that the Sox have made. Where do you sit on the Tommy trade?
The Tomei trade?
Yeah, because it was Tommy for Rowan, right?
Rowan,
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, no, I was perfectly fine with that trade.
Really?
At the time, yeah, I was.
And in hindsight, you're still like on.
No,
board
I
with
mean,
that?
I like the trade. Tomei was good for the Sox.
Yeah, he was
now
good.
when I get pissed is when everybody talks about him as a White Sox legend because he
Right,
wasn't.
right. He was
That is
barely
a-
here.
He's
right?
an Indians
What was
legend.
it,
Come on.
3 years?
3.5, I think.
Yeah, 3.5.
that's right.
Like that. That is weird to I think most Sox fans.
Listen,
Yeah.
Ken Griffey Jr. is a White Sox legend. All right?
Anyone who has soul glow as their walk-up music is a legend.
We had him for like half a year. He's a legend.
I got
White
a Griffey
Sox legend.
jersey, White Sox jersey.
I'm sure he did. Of course he did. Are you guys Jersey guys?
No, I have a few jerseys. So I have a Jose Canseco Sox jersey, and I have a Melky Cabrera jersey that says
wow.
Leche on the back.
Okay.
And then I think my Sox Summer bought me a James Shields jersey.
Oh boy.
That's
He loves James Shields.
And I have Adam Engel game-worn pants. You've seen.
By Sox Fest or something?
I wore in the tub when we did the
soak.
Sunday soak together.
last year.
Yeah.
Or 2 years.
2 years.
2019, yeah. Last year didn't happen.
That didn't happen. It's fucking still weird to me. But
I have some jerseys, but I don't wear them. Because they just don't do it anymore. Like for a long time, though, I would wear them.
I was going to say, my main jerseys that I wear are not Sox jerseys. I wear my Al Bundy Polk High jersey to the park. I'll wear my Finch from Wildcats jersey to the ballpark. And then occasionally I'll wear my Jackie Moon from the Flint Tropics.
Yes.
Like, those are my main three.
You've got the Kittle Edmonton jersey.
I do. Yeah,
Yep.
that's a great jersey. I wear that sometimes.
But my point is that those are like either fake people or people from like 2 decades ago.
Right. Yes, no current
I
guys.
think it would be kind of weird to wear. I'm a 32-year-old to wear like a Lucas Giolito jersey because he's 5 years younger than me, whatever he is. Like, that's kind of weird to me. Ken has no problem with it.
I have no problem with wearing jerseys. I do not have a Lucas Giolito jersey.
No, I know.
He's
I know
not
that.
one of my favorites. I know he's a friend of the show. I mean, I don't mind him, actually. I actually wanted him to start game one. It's not happening,
Yeah, me
but
too.
I wanted him to start game one. But his wife went after me on Twitter, so
Probably deserved.
Yeah, probably. Well, not really. I just said he's ruining my day, and it was 4th of July, and she got very upset about that for some reason. But it was true.
I mean, it's because you said a baseball player was ruining your
he
day.
was ruining my day, man. It was.
I mean, that's
It's
White Sox. I mean,
It's good that you don't mind him, though. That you don't mind one of the best pitchers on
Yeah, no, he's fine. He's fine. I'll allow
he's
him.
fine.
I'll
He's
allow him.
fine.
Jose Abreu, I do have his jersey, but I think that is my only current White Sox jersey. I have a couple Jose Abreu.
The
items.
only jersey I have at this point is a Joe Creedy jersey, and I'll wear it like ironically, but not even ironically, I'll wear it. I mean, he's what, in his 40s now. Also,
Yeah.
I saw him 2 summers ago at the White Sox and Cubs play a softball game at Boomer Stadium in Schaumburg. It's like a charity
I was there.
event.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were collecting
Yeah.
autographs
Yes,
like a weirdo.
absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Shots fired.
And
Damn.
I thought his shins were just gonna like implode me underneath him. He weighs like 4,000 pounds.
He's thick
a
as
big guy.
fuck right now.
Yeah.
He's very thick.
We're trying to recruit him.
He was great.
He'll make us look skinnier.
He's
basically.
good 108 material.
He looks like
Listen, he's still not in our ballpark, Loaf. He's still slim enough that he doesn't look just like us.
I don't know about
I
that.
don't know. Let's get a foot race going. Let's get a basketball game going. Let's see how good a shape he's in.
Let's
We'll mess
get
that
a,
back up. Don't worry about
Let's
it.
get in a button a dress shirt from last year race going.
Oh, that's
Let's
that's
get
actually
into a
good.
tie around your neck contest.
I'm out on that.
That's where it gets real sketchy.
Yeah. I
We need
don't
the
like
stretchy ones.
Not a clip-on.
Not a
actual
clip-on.
one. You got to
The
tie it, really
stretch.
tie it.
The tie goes as far down as a bow tie because of
Yeah,
because of the neck.
yeah.
Exactly.
That was a long time ago. That was the next, not the next thing, but that was one thing I made a mental note of because, like, for all the interviews that we do on Redline Radio, like, I'll have, especially if it's like a White Sox player, coach, or whoever, I'll map it out. Like, I'll spend hours on an outline. And today I'm like, I told you guys on Sunday, so I'm like, nothing, just, what's your guys'
Let's just wing it.
baseball,
Yeah.
beer, and bullshit?
Yep.
Baseball,
That's right.
bullshit.
Baseball, beer, and bullshit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, I was reading
The
your
three
hair.
Bs.
Baseball, yeah, the 3 Bs. Just like Billy Bob Thornton
Yes.
and Bad Santa.
Different three Bs,
Yeah.
but
What was it?
similar.
That's
It was
the point.
booze, bullshit, and butt fucking.
All the booze, all the bullshit, all the butt fucking. He's like, the 3 Bs. Like all dejected. Maybe the funniest movie of all time, by the way.
Oh, God,
It's
it's
up there.
hilarious.
It's
It is
up
way
there.
up there. I agree.
My
Never
dad
saw
and
it.
I threw that on.
Oh, never saw that.
Oh,
Come
my God.
on.
Never saw it.
You
Weak.
This is bad.
I don't see very many movies at all. So,
just
not a
throw
movie
it
guy.
on.
You saw The Dirt by Motley Crue, though, right?
I did see that.
Yeah, of course. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you see movies.
Yeah.
Only when he's fanboying.
Ain't
Yeah.
nothing
I am a Motley
but
Crue
good
fanboy.
I didn't know
That
that
is
was
Why did
not
you go to
Motley
Kelly?
Crue. Motley Crue. Come on, Dave. Nothing but a good time?
Who was it?
That's
That's
poison.
poison.
That's
Oh, that's
poison.
poison. I'm
Yeah.
an idiot.
Oh, my God.
that's okay.
He's so young.
I am. Not anymore.
Impressionable.
I'm aging up. You guys have hair still.
We do.
Yeah,
I
lots
know.
of it.
Mine's it's waving bye-bye.
Yeah.
Get
gotta-
you a
soon
Maury's
enough.
wig. We'll get you a
Yeah,
Maury's wig
Maury's
soon
wig,
enough.
right?
Yeah.
You found a job where you could wear a hat, though. So
That's
I mean,
true.
Every
I guess
single day.
I mean,
Yep.
I think you
Even
did it right.
at my old job in logistics, they didn't give a fuck. So I was wearing a hat every day.
Oh, nice.
That was very nice. It was key.
You should get a deal like Urlacher, though.
I wish.
Get
I
in on
wish.
that. We'll get some of your ball hair up on your head.
Just whatever. I don't care. You can put the pubes up
Plentiful.
there.
Just let it
But
go.
we are sponsored by Manscaped, so
Oh, look at
there
that.
you go.
The
I don't really have
synergy.
ball,
together.
ball hair.
But the synergy of the two.
Exactly.
Be like, I Manscaped, and now I have a full head of hair.
Full
Yeah,
head
you
of
har-
hair.
you harvest
It would be like
all of
that
it and get it up there,
Jackass
you know?
when the Jackass the movie when they were trying to make him look like a terrorist. I know he probably couldn't get away with that these days, but they put all the pube hair on. It was Aaron.
Yeah, they needed to make a beard
Yeah.
for him, and they told him, "Oh, we're making a beard for you," and they all shaved their.
And you
pubes
could see
on
the
his
girl
face.
that was like the costume artist, like very, very gently grabbing the pubes with the medical gloves on because she didn't want to like accidentally drop any on herself. And then he starts fucking puking.
There's a crab in there, too.
He's like,
there was a
no,
crab.
this is what
Yeah, I
he
think there
goes.
was.
He fake reads a text. Who brought crabs to the party? And then he just starts puking.
That was a very impressionable movie for you, right, Dave?
One of my favorites.
Yeah, I was like in Arizona, like on a date,
Drink.
and like watching that.
Oh, yeah.
I was. I don't know if you guys know, but I used to live out west, and yeah, I just remember like walking into the parking lot after that movie and seeing two kids, like one jumps in like the shopping cart and they just shove them across the thing. I was like, oh fuck, we got a lot to look forward to now.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is
They're
gonna
coming out
change
with
the
a new
world.
one. You know, there's gonna be a bunch of idiots because they're no Bam though, I guess.
Okay.
Because he's like
He's
they
sober
kicked him
now,
out of the
right?
game.
He's out, right?
Or the band basically.
Yeah.
But they're coming out with a new one, and you know you're gonna get just inundated with a bunch of idiots trying to recreate like the fucking slingshot with the porta potty or something. So
I mean, honestly, my favorite thing they ever did was when he rented the car and then took it into a demolition derby. I think that's their best one because renting a car is one of the most painful things that you could go through. Like they're just like, for some reason, it takes 45 minutes for them to check that you exist, and then they finally give you the car. But seeing that happen to that industry, I was completely fine with it, because usually you're uncomfortable for the person, right? You're just like, oh, they're doing this to this poor guy, and this is just uncomfortable. This one, it's like, I hate doing what he's doing right now. So I'm fine that he destroyed this car.
Yes.
Good for this guy.
Like, hey, how much? Well, like, what kind of budget we got for this scene? $25,000. All right, let's go get that Subaru.
Dave, you just buy the insurance. You don't even have to pay that.
I think he declines the insurance in it.
Perfect.
And this is why we don't have an outline. We just did 5 minutes on fucking Jackass movies during the White Sox excitement.
We can get back to the White Sox, though, and we'll do a little roundtable. So back in 2016, and it's all come full circle because playoffs, all right, this is being recorded on a Wednesday. It'll drop tomorrow, Thursday. First game, 3 p.m. I was fully on board with the rebuild in 2016. I was like, burn it to the ground and trade everybody with a pulse. Get rid of them all. Because it was clear that they weren't going to be able to build around Sale, Abreu. Who else is even?
Jose Quintana.
Adam
Eaton back then?
Yeah,
back when Adam Eaton was good?
He was good.
Yeah.
And so I was on board with it. Ken?
I was not on board with the rebuild. I do not like losing on purpose. It makes me sick. I think they could have, signed some free agents. I know that, our generous owner doesn't always like to sign free agents, but I think they weren't that far away. Like, they were a 500 team. I mean, you get a couple different guys and a couple good things going on, you're in the playoffs. So that's what I was going for, but they decided to trade Chris Sale, and it made me sick, and that's part of the reason why I still don't like Yoan Moncada to this day.
Oh man,
you don't like Kanerko because of Mike Cameron, right?
No. I don't like Kanerko because he came after Frank Thomas way back in like 2001 or something that, and
Frank
he did not
Thomas
have the stripes to go to after Frank Thomas. So I took Frank's side and I stuck by him.
I mean,
Thomas is done with the grudge.
I leave it on. It lives on through me.
I respect that.
I mean, I guess I respect it, but in retrospect, are you glad they did what they did, knowing what is starting tomorrow and what should be for 5 years?
I mean, I like the team right now. Yes. I didn't want to go through all that mess to get there, but I like the team.
But that makes it all sweeter, doesn't it?
I could not get behind watching like fucking Winston-Salem games like a lot of people did and loving that. I hated that. It made me sick. So
I bought that minor league package. It was $9 a month or something. I bought it and I was watching the minor league games.
Did you actually watch it though?
I was watching.
Or did you just pay for it and then forget the password?
It was hard to watch.
I was watching
because
it.
It was like on someone's phone. They're doing the single A games. It's like we could do this better ourselves.
I mean, you have $1 million athletes sleeping on air mattresses. You think they're going to invest in cameras still? Fuck no.
Amateur porn has better angles. Just like I remember I got the MILB package and I turned it on and I was like, oh, cool! This is I think it was a Winston-Salem game, and it was one camera behind home plate,
but
and I was
in the press box,
right?
Yeah.
And I was just like, I can't watch this. This is awful.
It was bad, but we were all doing it.
I was not doing it.
I did it for 4 more minutes than Ken did, but I spent $200 more to do it.
Oh, man,
Beef Loaf.
You know what? I became fully on board with the rebuild, but only because of a complaint I have about your best friend in the entire world, Rick Hahn. He couldn't fill in around that roster. That was the biggest problem. Like, we had the stars. He couldn't figure out how to get the free agents to fill in around him. And he tried it a couple times, and they kept crapping out. He had the Jeff Keppingers and the Adam LaRoches, and he missed on absolutely everything.
That's
and
true.
so I thought, this guy's not skilled at going in the market and getting these like mid and lower tier free agents. We're forced into this spot where there's nothing we can do because if he's going to be the guy still in there, he's been better with this group filling in around it. So he's learned over time and gotten better. But at that point, I was desperate. I'm like, he can't do it. So either he's got to be out of the job and someone else who can do that, or we got to flip this thing over. And so when it did happen, when the trade did happen, the sale trade, I was thrilled that they were taking a path that I thought, okay, this has a higher upside than the previous path for sure.
Yeah, I think that to your point though, and it could go to what Ken was talking about, right? Like, you're at that kind of turning point where you've said, I've got these star players, I've got a good base here, and I'm having trouble filling in around it. Let's imagine here that we say, okay, we're getting rid of the GM and we're going to go out and get the best GM that's out there. could that GM have come in and made that team that still existed there a winner much quicker? And I think that's like the question that we'll always kind of grapple with.
Yeah, we
but
don't know.
at this point, I don't care.
Right.
So we're
here now.
We sat through all of it, and I think we all saw it coming, and I think we were excited for it. And I think the piece about it that, looking backwards, is impressive is just how much Hahn got in those trades. Because at the time we were like, well, it's Chris Sale, it's Adam Eaton who's doing very well. It's Quintana who's doing very well as in addition. And you felt like it made sense. But then it wasn't more than like a year or two later where you saw guys like Stanton get traded for far less. Marcelo Zuna get traded for far less.
Right.
And you could see like, okay, he actually did maximize how much he could get on these guys. I mean, kind of even if you hate Moncada, right? Like Moncada was the only guy in that trade somehow. Like they might end up with a starting pitcher out of that.
Might. That's still a might.
And there's still a might on what Moncada would be, right? I mean,
True.
like so. But I think the two that you could point to is like gigantic winners. Quintana, you've mentioned before, like we won that on just the Cease.
Yeah, just Cease. We win that trade.
Oh, yeah.
Eloy is extra.
And then the Eaton trade. I mean, like now the Nats would probably do it again because they won a World Series, right? Like so.
Eaton was huge in their World Series.
Yeah, he was.
But,
He was, yeah.
But I mean, like you've got Giolito out of that. You turned Dunning into Lynn. You've got Lopez, who's after they I don't know if they did like the surgery from Minority Report, and now he can see and throw strikes and stuff. Right. Like he seems okay now.
I was 100% on board too, and I thought like the year before they did it and they signed Todd Frazier, I was very excited because I was like, they finally addressed like a gaping hole at third versus just put somebody else out there. And to kind of with Loaf's point, did Hahn change and start signing better, or did he just get lucky this round and get unlucky in those other rounds?
I think there's a
little bit of both.
Yeah,
right?
a little bit of
Like
both.
it has to be.
Like
And
he said that when he was in here I asked him
Yeah.
straight up, I'm like, is there an element? He's like, yeah, of course there is. Like you're rolling the dice anytime you sign a trade for any player.
And that's a big famous quote from your last guest too, Ozzie Guillen. He said, "I'd rather be lucky than good." Right? Isn't that his? That's his whole
the
thing.
truth. It's the truth.
You need some luck, and I think he had a lot of bad luck going in. And then, depending on who you believe and what you read on the internet, maybe you have an owner that likes to spend money, and maybe you have an owner that doesn't like to spend money. So if you're given something that has a lot of value, you can go out and you can trade it for two other things that have value that could help you further down the road. He was really good at that. So if that's the case, if Jerry's not opening him his pocketbook and just saying spend whatever, he used his resources and he got the desired result by using his resources and got us to this point. So yeah, I'm definitely on board. Definitely love your best friend Hahn, especially because he remembers who I am, but mostly because he turned this team around, and it's just he's done a masterful job.
It's gonna be a fun. And it's not to say like I actually got a DMCA. I wish I had the video still, but I got home from my old job and I did a video where I just like filmed myself clicking through Google images of Chris Sale with Whitney Houston playing in the background. It got deleted because of Whitney Houston.
Oh no!
Fuck her in her grave. But
Damn, man.
But,
Mrs. Bobby Brown.
Bobby still needs pants, bro.
That's right. You gotta help Bobby out, man.
But like it was bittersweet, and I found myself definitely rooting against Sale, even though he was like my favorite player ever. He was like to what I think that Luis Robert is becoming, like must watch at bats. Like you drop what you're doing, you watch him. Chris Sale was that for me. I was at most of his starts. I was watching him when I wasn't at the starts, and I was zeroing in. I'm like, tonight's Chris Sale night. I'm doing nothing, and so it hurt. But at the same time, like I was ready for it. The whole, and I hate losing too. Like the whole Billy Bean quote. Like I hate losing more than I like winning. Like I hate that baseball is in a spot, and hopefully that changes with the CBA coming up, where it almost benefits teams to go that path. But at the same time, it does. So why wouldn't you take advantage of that since it does,
Right.
So that's that. I was on board with it, and here we are. We toughed it out with the pandemic in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And I'm ready. I'm so fucking ready.
You know,
I know White Sox fans are ready. That stadium is going to be
Fucking right.
unfucking believable on Sunday.
You mentioned Sale and like in how what a kind of a thing he was when he was here, and I think if you're a younger fan and you're listening to this and you're just like, oh, how much of an effect did he have on people? Like, we were at all the games,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
And on a Tuesday night, Chris Sale would have a ton of people in the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
That the next day, whoever was pitching would be
6,000 people.
us and the ushers.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
And the ushers were as drunk as we were.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I don't want to throw any ushers under the bus that are still working there since 2016.
Has the usher situation gotten better there?
So the vendor situation is getting better,
the vendor
which is the
situation.
more important part, and I would never throw them under the bus.
No,
but this weekend, and the funny effect of it was, so I was talking to my wife after one of the games, and she was like, the lines at the bar upstairs weren't too bad, and I was like, yeah, because the only beer they sell there is like the stuff that the vendors have. So if you're a hard alcohol drinker and you're going to the games, you're in luck now that the vendors are back. You're the one most helped by this. But we're happy to have our guys back in the seats slinging us beers. I can't wait till they're, at full force, which I'm hoping they are for the playoffs.
I take my dog to this dog park every night, and I forget his name, but he's an older guy. He's got to be like mid-60s. Our dogs love each other, and I'll shoot the shit with them every night. And he's the concessions manager at Wrigley. And they asked him to come down to Sox Park for the weekend, or for Monday or Sunday and Monday, assuming there is going to be a Monday.
Okay.
Because they're still looking for help. It's going to be a zoo, and I'm so pissed off that it's Sunday night. It's a night game, so
Yeah,
it is.
at least we
national.
got one right.
We got one
night game,
right. But I want and I said this when I first started with Barstool, which is 9 years ago now. Randomly, it doesn't seem like it's been that long, but like. It was one the Blackhawks won in 2015, was it? Was that the year they last won? 2015?
Yeah, weren't they 11, 13, 15? Like,
Was that what it was?
Something like that.
Every
right?
other year?
Yeah, that's right.
And
Yeah.
Big Cat was blogging just nonstop, like parade stories, like drunk kids in the street wearing black, whatever. Like it was Blackhawks Day in Barstool. And people were bitching. I'm like, no one gives a fuck about the Blackhawks. Say something funny. And I remember him saying, like, this is how we do it with championships at Barstool. Like, that's just the way it goes. It's how it's always gone. And he started the blog in, like, 2002 or something. Now it's turned into what it has turned into. But, like, my entire life's work, which isn't much. It's hardly anything. If the White Sox ever win the World Series when I'm employed by this company, I am going to shove them down the entire fucking world's throat.
Yes.
I cannot fucking
I love
wait.
it. I absolutely love it.
I will be getting death threats, and I will just be like, I'll do one of the Ken.W.os, like the ooh.
Yeah, you got to do it.
It'll just be constant. Keep
bring
that going
Ken in.
constantly.
Right, we should.
Yeah,
That's why you befriended us in the beginning. We're all men of size. We have hair. And that's what
I
we're
can
here
scrap
for.
a little bit.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We have the girth.
Could you imagine if people were shitty to Dave and then Ken held it against them as long as he's held his grudge against Kanerko?
I would do it. I'll be 65 years old for Dave.
But I know it's coming. It might not be this year, it might not be next year, but it's going to be coming, and this is the start of it. And that's why I wanted to have you guys in specifically, is because fuck all the Cubs fans that I work with, which is I'm the only Sox fan in here. And
They were walking by the fishbowl. They were jealous. They were
yeah, I
jealous
know.
of-
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want you guys in. This is 4 Sox fans today. It's White Sox week, and I'm loving it.
No, it's great.
Absolutely.
Just off the cuff bullshit, right? And so what do you guys got coming up this weekend?
Oh, we have kind of a lot going on, kind of all over the place. We're doing a very early morning, right, Chorizy? We got an early morning
Way too
pregame show
early.
tomorrow.
Way too early pregame. It's
6 a.m. We're going to get up. We're going to be on our YouTube channel. You two are usually awake. My Sox Summer and Chorizy are usually awake. Yep. I usually get up about 8 o'clock, so I'm not going to be quite ready for this, but we'll get the caffeine going, etc.
You can roll off the
Is it going
couch
to be
for it.
boozy caffeine?
We'll see.
Well, I
We'll
mean,
see.
we're not gonna. We might not tell because some of us might be working a half day just to, we'll
Oh, that's
see.
true.
Who knows?
It's a weekday.
Don't worry about it.
You guys
Apparently,
did take off, I'm assuming, right?
No, I'm
I got half
working.
day tomorrow. I got the day off Friday, and I got
Way to
Monday
go.
off too. either as a recovery day or as a day where we're going to a game. We'll see. If we get the sweep on Sunday night, then that's just going to be a recovery day on Monday.
Yeah.
But if we have to,
That's the way to go, Ken.
That's right.
I will be at work tomorrow, Friday. I might start feeling a little sick on Friday.
Do you want me to
That's
come over there
allegedly.
and cough?
That's allegedly.
Yep.
Yeah.
How about Monday? Will that sickness continue through the weekend until Monday?
Columbus Day, baby. This is
that's
fucking
right.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Or Indigenous Peoples Day. Sorry,
That's right.
very sorry about
Yeah.
that, but yeah.
Yeah, Chris, are that dirty, disgusting. I'm not even going to go there.
Mercy.
Do you get any? This is like a sincere question. Do you get any pushback from like higher ups at school for being a fucking cocksucker on Twitter? No, never.
No, I don't think they know or care.
We should alert them of it.
Yeah.
We should let
Well,
them know.
please don't do that. But, oh my God. No, I don't think they know or care about it. I
know
show
I'm
up, I do my
this
job well.
just like I was making mental notes. I said I didn't do any outline. I had like a mental outline of shit I wanted to talk about, and this just popped in it. So I'm gonna butcher the story, but a couple years ago, I remember you got into it with a guy on Twitter, and he called your wife something, and you started talking about the attractiveness of each other's wives, and you had no problem throwing your wife out there. And everyone was like, "God damn, Kim, you got a good fucking looking wife." Did she see that?
She's heard about it. She didn't see it, but yeah, she's heard about it.
What'd she say?
She was impressed.
Yeah,
she was impressed that I do that.
With the was it the like purple velvet suede jacket?
I did
or
not. I
whatever?
did not have that on in that picture that
you
I
should
shared,
have,
but
though.
I should have if I would
Just
have.
a stunt.
I didn't have it yet. If I had it, then I would have. But yeah,
She's a saint too.
yeah.
She's got
I mean,
Yeah.
she came to one of our live shows, and she was just awesome.
Yeah,
And I had
she's
no.
got to be awesome to put up with this guy.
Yeah,
Come on.
no
And
doubt.
both your kids are fans too. I know your daughter's a bigger fan because every time I see your son, he's just like he's in that awkward stage where he's you know not yet a man,
Yeah.
but not a boy.
He's a big guy too.
He's
So
a big
people
kid.
think
So
he's
gonna be
older than he
very-
is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's very like, hi, you know,
Yeah.
and you're like, that's all right.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah, he's
In
been
5
whooping you on
years,
the
we'll be
hoop court.
crushing beers.
In a
with him.
couple of years, we're gonna be corrupting the shit out of him. Like he's gonna get to what high school is he gonna go to?
Tinley Park.
He's gonna go to Tinley Park. He'll be taking the train down Sox games in 2-3 years. He's gonna swing by, and we're just gonna get him all sorts of liquored up. Allegedly, hypothetically,
Yeah, in theory. That's right.
In theory.
I don't know. By then he's going to be like Andre the Giant's height. Like, maybe he'll drink us under the table.
Oh,
You don't
I'm sure
even
that'll
know.
probably be the case. Damn.
He'll be helping us get out of fights.
Yeah, maybe.
Have you guys got any good fights lately?
No.
Like us in
Yeah.
fights? No, we don't fight.
Yeah, you guys don't fight.
We watch the fights though.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I think my Sox Summer is the biggest fan of like fights happening in the crowd.
Yeah,
like,
in stadium fights. He loves them.
I'll be like, I don't know if I want to go to this game. Like it would be like a Cubs Sox game a few years ago when like
I remember.
we weren't
I
good.
got
I'll be
called
like,
a pussy
I'm not gonna-
nonstop for that because I didn't go.
I'm like, I'm not gonna go up there.
Right.
And my Sox Summer's like, you're not going? There's gonna be like 1,000 fights. And I was like, yeah, that's why I'm not going. And he's like, oh, I'm getting video of all of them.
They start that tailgating at like fucking 1 o'clock for a 5 o'clock game, you know, and everyone's revved up as it is. And this is when the Sox didn't really matter as much, and the Cubs had, you know, just won a World Series 2 years previous, and there was a lot of fisticuffs.
Yeah.
Suffice to say, this year not a lot of fights during the Cubs Sox series.
There was
just wasn't.
It was quiet, yeah.
Very
There was a
easy.
handful. My tickets are in 159 also because they're like the cheapest tickets you can get. Right behind the Sox bullpen, and there was a point where the Sox they're like, "Hey, tell your fucking asshole followers to like quit getting in fights." I'm like, "My asshole followers?
Why do you
like,
assume that?
why me?
Right.
Like, I don't know any of these fucking guys." But
It's your team. It's your house.
Right, exactly.
yeah, it got a little. I mean, obviously everybody's stir crazy because we've been indoors for 18 months or whatever it was.
yeah.
But there was the one. This was, I think, I want to say it was 10,000 capacity, 25% when Shelly Duncan tweeted out. It was just a dude doing like the stone cold smashing beers and chugging them, and somewhere in center field. And he's like, "This is the best place to watch a baseball game in all of baseball right now." And like going back to the original. I want the entire world to see because the White Sox are the second team in town. Like I admit it, like the Cubs' bigger national appeal for whatever stupid
but fuck
reason.
them.
But fuck them. But I want the entire world to see the blackout and how we do it. You know how we do it because there hasn't been a lot to root for until last year when it was bullshit season and now this year. But we come out in hordes when the team is there. So
There's no question about it. And the stadium gets so loud. I mean, even
so
when we were
loud.
at, what was it? We were at 60% maybe or 50%. I forget exactly what it was coming out of the pandemic. That stadium was so loud at half capacity when they were selling as many as they could and everyone was crowding in there. And so when it's been a full house on the weekends, it's just been mayhem. And it's been so loud.
Even on Tuesday nights when shit was going
Tuesday
good.
nights. Yes.
I mean, because you got these guys, and we noticed this year when they might be their first game. It might be their only game that they get to see, and so they come out and a lot of these guys are putting it out, and it's like we hadn't been there for a year. Let's just get loud and get fucking crazy. So yeah, it was awesome. What are you doing for the games?
I will be. So it's 4 p.m. I'm gonna leave my apartment around 7. I got a 9:30 flight to New York City. Gonna do some live streaming out there. Unfortunately, we've all been bitching about it. They're not going to be like primetime games, so I don't know how good the streams will do. But Sunday I'll be at the game, and Monday we're going to stream from Cork and Carries.
Oh, nice.
So anybody who's not going to games, open doors, obviously.
Okay.
Come on through. And then Sunday we're going to have a ball out tailgate.
Oh,
You guys, I know you like
White
to show
Sox
up.
Dave's blackout tailgate.
No. This is exact. So Tom's not in here, but our camera guy Tom, he's from Manhattan, New York. We stole him from our New York office.
Oh, nice work.
Little over a year ago, and he loves Sox games. He's like, this is the shit. Like, this is so much better than Wrigley. And I like hearing that from like an unbiased, because he doesn't actually give a shit. But,
For sure. Yeah.
It's like in Happy Gilmore when he sinks a putt and then he runs over to the crowd and he's got the beer bong, and then he like looks over and Virginia Bennett's like,
Nope.
that's got to be Tom, because I got to be like on fucking camera, so I can't be completely blacked out, but just like a little blacked out. I know.
That sucks.
I know.
Do you think he's going to be capable of this? Like, I mean, like,
Right. Was he hired for this assignment? Like, do they really know you is my question.
did he like previously work for John Daly or something? Or he just like, oh, I know he can keep him in line.
We'll see how it goes. We'll say that.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, I know.
That's it. That's
Yep.
That's already.
That's like when
He
one of
said
our
it.
guys comes to the section and is like, I can only have like 2 beers tonight, and then they're on like 47th beer, and
Yeah.
they're like, I got to
I
call
got
into
the
work
wife.
right now. I'm supposed to start in 4 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can name Wally Money. It's
yeah. I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Wally's
You can
like,
say
I'm
Wally
not
Money.
getting drunk. This is only beer. Yeah, right. You're hammered. I'm not even that drunk.
Just
Are they
such
going
a
to chain you to like a bed or anything in New York, or is
Wow.
there any
What?
good tie-ins that
gotta
they
bring
do
up the
with
bad
live
times.
stuff?
Yeah, he's always on these weird shows, these Survivor shows.
Like they put you
and
on a
all stuff.
radiator.
Like,
They
Like,
like
are they
those
going to
shows.
blindfold you?
Um.
Are they going to?
Oh, if they try to
anything?
do that kind of shit, I'm just gonna be like, no.
Are you rolling in with your cowboy hat, or is that
might.
is that bit dead?
So you got to pull it out in very specific instances and
Oh,
very
hello.
special instances. So
I would agree with that.
So I get
you
tied
don't
up.
want to run the joke into the ground, So
Did you learn that from Wally Money too?
What, running jokes in the ground?
No, to run, just to pull it out
Pull
at
it
the
out.
specific time.
I don't think Wally has ever pulled anything out of at any specific time. Like, he's a very, very anti-pullout.
He's just stay in and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just roll the dice.
I like the
Not
cowboy
pregnant.
hat look though.
I might. So I got a shitty briefcase luggage from like, I don't know, Target or wherever. And whatever I can pack in there will be coming with. And I will be trying to I'm going to be out there almost 4 days. So if the cowboy, or I might just go steal one. You never know.
Oh, that's
There
a
you
good
go.
call.
Because they had a
10
few
gallon
laying
hat.
around there.
They
I might
did?
just, yeah. That's where I got it from. I just stole it from the office.
If you can find a foam one, I would go with that, or
Well,
one that
like-
you can put a beer on each side. Those are the
yeah.
best.
rest in peace. What's it?
No, Norm Macdonald.
Norm
Burt
Macdonald.
Reynolds.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Turd Ferguson.
Turd
Ferguson.
Ferguson. Yeah.
Now, I noticed there's only been animosity between Ken.W.o and White Sox Dave. Don't you think it's time for us to break Dave's balls a little bit? We've been a little too nice.
I need it.
We got a White
Absolutely.
Sox. We got a White Sox break his balls. So we got a
so.
couple things we want to throw at you. I don't know who wants to go first.
Well, I mean, I think we could start with you keep accusing us of cyber stalking you and trying to catfish you.
Trying to catfish you.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
You
You
think
think
we're
it's-
trying to catfish
You
you?
think
No,
that there's an account that keeps hitting you up, and we
Yes.
get text messages from you every time going, which one of you is this?
Listen, assholes.
See,
This isn't funny anymore.
Like we have the time or thumb coordination to pull this off.
but the way you guys are describing it now makes me think it is you, but at the same time,
which one of us
you got
think
me
is
on
behind
full
this?
tilt.
Which one of us you think is behind me?
Yeah.
The Beef Loaf is not behind us.
Beef Loaf, I think it's Beef Loaf.
And how you just said that keeps it going.
Keeps it going, exactly.
I'm definitely not the one
No,
behind
it's
it.
definitely not Jacob.
It's not me, no.
The funny thing about it is like, so.
Do you know who we're talking about, Ken?
No idea. No clue.
I wasn't going to bring up the actual handle. We could tell off because I don't know if it's.
Is it actually you
I
guys?
don't know. It's
No,
not
it's
us.
not.
It's not
It's
us.
not.
Okay.
We have
Allegedly.
no idea.
Allegedly, it's not us.
See, you guys are fucking with me right now. I don't.
It's not us. It's definitely
The funny
not us.
thing is, like, when we started doing this, and we all have, you know, access to the 108 account, but then we have access to our own accounts, and like there would be tons of times when I'd ask Beef, "Are you tweeting? Did you mean to send that from the 108 account, or did you mean to send that from your account?" And now you think that he's gotten so good at this, that he's got like a third account on there that he's never messing up with, that he's only
Let's see
using
your phone.
to
Pull it up. Pull it up.
We're not looking at my phone.
The 400 emojis.
Yeah,
I heart
crying-
White Sox
yeah.
Dave
But
on the 108 account.
so the account we're talking about, it's like, it's the most, and I don't want to say obnoxious in a bad way, but it's like overzealous fandom.
Yes.
It's a female.
Yep.
It's showing her like chugging a beer in lot B.
Right in your
Yeah,
wheelhouse.
Sox Twitter folks will know what account this is. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
for
Yes,
sure.
You know,
And the girl will like quote tweet like after Luis Robert hits a single, he's gonna win 5 MVPs and he might even win the Cy Young if he decided to pitch. And it's like,
Which we know gets you hard. So that we know that's
Right.
why she's doing it. Yeah.
That's why that's why she writes it.
Somehow I don't know this account, but I wish I did.
I've seen her quote tweet you.
Oh, really?
She'll quote tweet just any random Sox account.
Oh, okay. I need
Or
to pay more
she.
attention.
okay, so it's
I don't wanna
It's not
assign
us. It's
pronouns.
not us. We promise. Okay. Second,
Actual promise.
actual promise. Fingers.
It's
actual
Ken.
promise. Pinky promise. The next one. You recently wrote a blog about moving Sox Park into Soldier Field. Okay.
Not necessarily into it.
Well, where in the
Yeah.
current spot, its footprint, if you will. First off, fuck that idea because I can walk to the park right
course.
now. Right? My
Well,
Sox Summer
Chorizy
and
can
Ken-
walk
Horrible
there.
idea.
Chorizy would be able to walk to the.
I
new-
Yeah.
can't walk to the new. I would die walking that far.
To Soldier Field?
Yeah, that's a good mile and a half.
He's an elderly man. Look at him. Look how he looks.
Come on, that's not that far, is it? Don't you live right by the 18th Street Bridge?
Yeah, I don't live that far, but I would never walk that.
That's a
far.
long walk.
And how far do you live from Sox Park?
I live.
He doesn't walk there.
I live an Uber ride away from there.
Yeah.
Where's the Sox Park? But I wanted to meet you in the middle, White Sox Dave, because you said, with some amendments, maybe you could make it work. So I was
And
thinking
that,
about,
and people couldn't get that through their thick
yeah,
skulls.
they couldn't understand that. That was your
I'm
point.
like,
It's
you had to perfect the logistics of getting people in and out of there.
And then you guys on the Red Line Radio were talking about, it's going to be $1 billion, whatever. Fuck that. We're not spending $1 billion. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to put the parking and everything in the Uber lots and whatever, kind of by McCormick or like 6 blocks away-ish. And we're just going to build trams. And we're going to have trams going back and forth between the parking and Uber lots and the White Sox Park Village. Because you wanted to build everything kind of in there, right? In there by the water. And I know you wanted to have like the home runs going to the water. Like I think there's maybe there's some stuff on the internet. They want to have the sploosh home runs. You know about the sploosh.
I
White Sox
definitely
Summer.
about
You're
the
a big
sploosh.
sploosh fan. I know you are.
Oh, yeah.
But the other thing I think you do is you have that be right field with the water, going in there. And left field, I want to build have a hill behind there. Kind of like how they do in San Diego, where like regular folk could just like sit back there and chill.
Like a
and you
minor
got a little
league game,
skyline.
kinda.
Yeah, kind of,
Yeah.
right? Or like a spring training game. We
Yeah,
got the
yeah,
little
yeah,
hill,
yeah.
and like you'll have the skyline or a piece of the skyline behind it. I think it could work, but that the getting people in and out part is the really freaking hard part.
So you're saying
Exactly.
it's tram like when you're going to Vegas,
Like the Vegas
right?
airport.
Yeah,
Vegas
you get to the
airport.
Vegas
Yeah.
airport, and then you're on the tram, and you can see everything in the foreground, and you're like, I'm on my way.
I'm
to
here.
That.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
That's exactly my vision right there. Something like that. Because you can't. Everyone tries to get in and out of there. It's a shit show. Everyone knows
Right,
it
it's
is,
awful.
Oh, yeah.
It's the worst.
That's why I'm glad they're moving to Arlington Heights to get that out of my neighborhood.
Yeah.
You never went to a game anyway, so what's the difference?
No, it's too cold out, man. I watch Red Zone.
It's too cold out there.
That's the only time I like cold weather is if it's like 0 degrees for a Bears game, I'll have the time of my life there. But
But in the warm
terrible
weather,
Bears.
no thanks.
And for those, Also, Ken.W.o hates the Bears because he identifies Cubs fans with the Bears, so he refuses to root for them.
That's right.
Plus, he also loves gangster rap, and if you like gangster rap, you have to love the Raiders. I mean, that was like, let's go hand in hand.
I do own a Raiders hat.
NWO.
I will say that.
I will, yeah. I mean, that's the reason in Bo Jackson on Tecmo, that was my
Obviously.
team,
Oh,
so
there's
I
no
could
question.
beat everybody with the Raiders. So those are the reasons why I like the Raiders. But the Cubs stuff and the Bears, I mean, they played in Wrigley Field. They go hand in hand. Cubs, Bears, come on.
You're like the
can't
last
do
of
it.
the
I
dying
can't do
breed.
it.
My dad's dad, he died in 2007 or 8 or so, like 15 years ago or so. He did not like the Bears because he was an Arizona or a Chicago Cardinals fan.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
they moved out to St. Louis and then to Arizona. And he's like, I'm not rooting for that. It'd be like if the Sox moved to Tampa. I wouldn't root for the Cubs. Fuck that.
Right.
You know?
See, I
Absolutely
agree with
not.
that line of thinking. The problem was the Cardinals sucked at Tecmo Bowl, so I couldn't. I couldn't get behind them. But that's why. I
Yeah,
got the
but
Raiders.
like it's been
You didn't
50
care for
years?
Vice Sickham.
no.
But I mean, I get that Sox Park now. It's like our, and I don't want to say our. It's your guys' neighborhood park and everything. It's a couple bars. I would love it to be like an attraction to like you take a free agent there. I mean, they were taking them to fucking what was it, Harper at United. Granted, it was winter, but like at the United Center to show them the MJ. It's like I would love them to see like, hey, you could hit a bomb into Lake Michigan. You got the skyline right there. You got this unbelievable clubhouse. I think it would be good for all parties involved once you get past we just lost our. I don't want to call Sox Park a dump, but like our little quaint stadium.
Right.
So that's just my line of thinking. But if they wanted to fucking keep it another 30 years, I wouldn't give a shit either.
They
I
better
like
keep
Sox
it
Park.
another 30
Makes
years. We still have houses there, Dave. We're gonna be just moving out of the neighborhood.
Yeah, they'd lose property value.
I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know
That
what
hurts,
happens to the property value when they move out. If they move out,
We don't want no more homes
I don't want to
put
know.
there, do we?
Yeah,
MSS?
No,
want
no
that
more
shit.
homes.
And I think the bars around the area thing, like if you try to do that where Soldier Field is now, that would fail there too, right? Just like the reason there's not
I
bars
agree,
all
yeah.
around around Comiskey is because there's just not enough people around for like getting drunk every day,
Right.
When
It's not
there's not a
sustainable.
season.
Yeah.
right? Like I mean,
Yeah,
so-
present company included.
I mean,
Yes.
I forget
I'd
the
be there a
exact
lot.
percentage, but you hear those bars up in Wrigley, and it's not nearly as bad because it's Wrigley. But like they make like 70% of their fucking coin April through October.
I believe it. Yeah.
Right. When I remember I was living in the West Loop when the Bulls and Blackhawks started to fall off a little bit, and like all the bars that we would normally go to started like closing down because the business they relied not only on the season but on the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right. And so you end up in a situation where you would have let's say we put in 3-4 more bars in Bridgeport right around the stadium. It'd be really cool on game day for sure, but like, could those bars sustain? And like you see, like even like Shy Sox, whatever, is it still Shy Sox?
I think so.
I think
Like,
so. I don't know.
they-
I'm-
they
I
don't-
haven't had a drink in
like
there.
they are not
either.
open any other day of the year, right? That's not like you would think. Like if Bridgeport could sustain a bar, an additional bar over there, they'd be open for like Bears games or something.
Right.
With
But
a
they're
ton
not.
of parking
Yeah.
too.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You could go watch all the NFL games there. And once they put a sports book in there, maybe it'll be your guys's. Like we go just blow right the fuck up.
Yeah, maybe.
that I
Never
would
know.
fucking love.
I'm
that.
coming to these offices to watch Sunday football from now on. Beautiful setup.
There's
over
no
there.
question.
If I ever walk in here on a Sunday and see you just lounging,
I'll keep my shoes on, man. I'm not
Okay.
like Chief. Come on.
Eddie would let him in though.
Eddie would let him in with wide open arms.
To watch his
Eddie and
his
Ken
briefs
W.o.
in your sink.
in matching pajamas sitting on the couch watching the games.
Talking
in.
about Endo the actual wrestler.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Ken. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I know like it's a 1% of chance happening. I don't know. The visual of it is cool, and like I like when eyes are on the Sox, and eyes
for
are
sure.
never on the Sox. So I don't know. It's just me throwing bullshit out there that I know would never in a million years stick, which is I don't know. I do that all the time,
fun.
anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun,
It's your
right?
job.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what you're
fun.
supposed to do.
You got more for us?
We got one last one, right?
Yeah, I want you to handle it.
So back in the day when we first started this up, one of our biggest claims to fame is that we had Tyler Saladino like retweet some stuff, and he gave away opening day tickets to the person that grew the best mustache. And Taylor Saladino was number 18. Okay, so he got ruined right after he joined forces with the 108, and he just became the shittiest like third baseman. He had a bunch of back problems, went through injuries, all this crap. And so we took that on the chin, and we're like, listen, we can't ruin any more players. Then one Daniel Palka shows up, and he is watching us in our Sunday soak. He's entertaining. He's quoting the 108ing stuff that we do, and we're like, oh man, we really like this guy, but we like what he's doing because he hits like 27 home runs, and we're like, yeah, this is great. We love this guy. He's great. Oh, look what just happened. Oh, signed up to do a show with White Sox Dave. Now, what happens to Daniel Palka after he signs up to do a show with White Sox Dave? Falls right off the map.
Yeah.
He just goes through the biggest slump ever. And you're like, fucking goddamn White Sox Dave.
There was a while where
you
I was
ruined
like
18. Now, that's the second one. So thank God neither one of us has had Brian Goodwin on the goddamn show and fucked him up. That's not even our fault.
That's right.
So we don't even
reached out to him too.
Did you?
But he knows about all this, right? So he's like, no thanks. We're not doing it.
He must have been informed. But I didn't know about Saladino. I didn't even realize he was number 18. There was a while. It was when we first started the show, we had Jake Berger on, Kopech, a few, Palka, obviously. It was everybody who came on, was immediately getting their fucking Achilles sliced with a goddamn samurai sword. But Palka, I felt so bad about that. So his agent reached out to me. He's like, hey, I'm a huge Barstool fan. I think he said he lived in Chicago for a while or something. Would you be interested in doing a show with Daniel Palka? It was one of those emails you get, you're so excited that you don't want to respond right away. So I did a few laps around the office, struck up a conversation to pass time. I responded abso-fucking-lutely, let's fucking go. So we did it, and he had a good rookie year. He hit 27 bombs, I think it was.
Yep.
And he looked like he could at least stick as go and murder the ball against righties guys.
Yep.
And he was 0 for 47 that he started the season. And Portnoy was quote oh, this is the bum you're fucking. And I felt bad. I was like, you fucking he's out there trying, I don't want to. And I remember on opening day that day, because we had our first episode where we picked his walk-up music or some shit. And he hit an absolute piss rod. It was a line drive 5 or 7 feet off the ground right at the right fielder. And I swear to God, if that ball would have hit a gap, and even if he would have got a single out of it or something, that would have changed everything. I really think so, because then he started getting in his own head. Yeah. Oh shit, I'm 0 for 20. And he knew the score. He was, second round pick, but he only had one shot basically, and he's like, "Fuck, I'm 0 for 20." You start pressing.
We need to find who that right fielder was so we could hate him.
Kill
forever.
him. Yeah.
That's a great call.
He also was they made him play right versus he wasn't just a DH guy. He wasn't to just go out there and hit. Right, so I think that fucked him up. Plus, he was getting married. I think there was just so many things that were just going on.
He lost weight too, right?
He lost a ton of weight.
It's always a wrong thing.
And it's just it just was sad.
Gotta stay husky.
And then the shining moment of that season was 2018. Daniel Palka hitting 2 home runs at one of the last games.
The last game or 2 of the year. Yeah.
Oh my God, that we were just great. Fuck yes. All right, this guy maybe
he ended
he'll be
on
back.
a high note for sure.
He did.
Then he got hurt again in spring training.
Yep.
I wish I had the. I could find it on my computer somewhere, but do you guys remember the Coach Doug's thing that Big Cat was doing last summer?
Yeah.
So he was doing that all last summer, and I was openly rooting against Doug's just because people were so into that whole saga, we'll call it, where I just thought it was hilarious if he'd lose it on a Hail Mary in the national champion, because I'm sitting here bored out of my mind watching someone play a fucking 10-year-old video game, And Dan Palka texted me, and he spent a couple hours on the national champ. The night Big Cat won I think it was with Tennessee maybe or something. I don't know, with Coach Doug's, and he photoshopped a police report that Coach Doug's got a DUI after the Fiesta Bowl in Scottsdale, Arizona. And he sent it to me. I'm like, how long did you spend on this? He's like, last few hours. And it looked like it was he had Scottsdale. He had the badge number. He had everything. He said he was getting dragged out of Bottled Blonde in Scottsdale. And I'm just sitting there pissing myself. I'm like, this is fucking Dan Palka.
Well,
He's
remember,
awesome.
Palka,
It's just the
Palka
best.
also, he got interviewed one time and said that he was a McDonald's All-American.
Yes,
and then,
yes.
And then updated the Wikipedia page
And they
to
never
show that
changed
he
it.
was
It's still
on
up.
the team.
It's
Yeah,
still
he's
there?
It's still there.
Still there.
You can look it up. It's still there. Yeah.
I like that Dan's getting his just deserves right now. I mean, really, he deserves
deserves it. It was
this.
fun, yeah.
And he was on MLB Network, and I got somebody sending me a message like, you should call in, right? So I was on there, and I did the Chris Farley bit, and I go, hey Dan, do you remember that one time you hit a
That
home
was
run
awesome. Yeah.
into the 108, but it was foul? So you were like, okay, I'll just do it again. And then the next time you hit it, it was fair. And he goes, yeah, I think I remember that. And I was like, that was awesome.
Did he know it was you?
Yeah. Because they put my face up.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I got one of my kids like hanging on me and just screaming at me because they're like, I can't have 5 minutes to myself. So, this is what it is.
Man, I haven't talked to Dan in it was last winter, I think was I could actually probably look it up.
I actually just texted him. Well, I didn't text. I DM'd him because he was up in Rochester this year, just smashing balls left and right. And he played with my wife's cousin, TJ McFarland, who actually is.
I didn't
on
know
the
that's
Cardinals.
how you're tied with him.
Yeah, so I sent a picture to him, and Dan goes, "Oh, fucking love TJ. Tell that's my guy. Tell him that."
Yeah, he's the best.
He's like, I loved all the Cubs cards updates today because it was just crazy. It was a crazy game. It was at Wrigley, and it was fun. So yeah, this has been fun for us.
I'm so glad we brought him up because that was gonna be, I don't know, last question, first question. It was gonna be a question. Like, what were your guys' favorite parts of the rebuild? Because there was fun times about it. Like, in spite of all the losing, like, push all that aside, Dan Palka is absolutely one of them.
Dan Palka was my favorite. Yeah,
He was
He was awesome at Sox Fest.
piss on the ball.
Yeah, good at Sox Fest. He did the whole Palka-mania thing. I'm a big Hulk Hogan
Right.
fan,
Oh, yeah.
so yeah, I loved him.
Let's
I
pour
know,
out
I
another
went-
shot of Malort for Dan Palka.
Yeah. Pour out another, pass him around.
I actually went to Cincinnati for a Sox-Reds game, and that's where I decided that I love this guy because he hit about 900 feet of home runs in one of the games there.
That's right. He had 2 bombs. that
Yeah,
game.
2
Yeah.
bombs.
Such a stud.
Both
He could
far.
kill the ball.
So that's when I became a Dan Palka supporter, and he was definitely my favorite part of the rebuild.
He's got to be up there. You guys watch The Simpsons, I'm sure, right? Probably not anymore, but I forget the exact episode, but I want to say it was one where Lisa was all worried that she was gonna get the Simpsons dumb person gene.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And she looks out into the hallway, and Bart and Homer are just running into each other with pots on their head. I imagine that in some way, growing up, is Dan Palka, just because he's such a goofy meathead, and I mean that in the absolute best way possible. I think he could have been a fullback or something, at Georgia Tech.
He's
He's
big
a
boy.
fucking huge dude.
Basketball, baseball, and football.
Going to the basketball thing, I forget exactly how I heard about it, but it's Dan Palka was a McDonald's All-American. That's an absurd deal.
Yeah.
Because basketball is a lot
it
different
is.
than other sports where there's 5 players on a court, 12 players on a team. That's the best, probably, I would guess, 30 to 40 players in the entire country, North America even. And I'm like, what? Really?
Total fiction. Beautiful work.
It's so funny too when you look at it. He put his real height and weight in there, and the other guys that are his height, his weight's he's 6'4", 230 or whatever. The other guys that are his height are 170 pounds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This does not look real.
But for those who are listening and don't know who Dan Palka is, he's built like a linebacker.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
V cut, not a ton of definition per se, but he's not an ounce of fat on his body.
Just huge.
What is he? 6'1", 6'2"?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
But 240 of just muscle. He's built like a fullback, like Mike Allstott. And when I heard he was, and I was like, what the fuck planet am I on? And it was all a ruse that he just let people run with. And I love that. I fucking love that.
He probably set it up.
I think I could tell the effect that Palka had on Chicago fans during the rebuild is that, so last year, I think a lot of people were watching Korean baseball because it was the only thing on.
With Benetti, yeah.
But I remember Palka signed, I forget what team he signed with, but he was playing
Samsung
He was
Lions.
playing at 4:30 in the morning, and I was like, I'm getting up to watch Palka. And I remember just like tweeting something about it and like looking and being like, there are a lot of people watching Daniel Palka at 4:30 in the morning Chicago time.
That's a tribute to him, man.
It is.
For
It
sure.
is. It
He
shows the
replaced-
effect that he had.
Was it Saladino?
Yeah.
I thought
He
it was.
replaced
Yeah,
Tyler
yeah.
Saladino on the Samsung Lions.
The two
Yep.
guys we ruined.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, two Palka.
Yeah. Cheers,
To Palka.
Dan.
There we go.
Cheers.
Do it.
Here, dude, know what I'm going to do? I'm going to FaceTime his ass right now.
Oh, I love it. Look at
Let's-
that.
We'll wait.
Here.
Should we wait?
Or should we just do another one after this one?
I'm going to text him to give him a heads up.
And say, to be fair, the last time you tried to face somebody, it was 2:00 in the morning at Cork and Carey's, and I was with you, and that did not go very well.
So
Allegedly.
while he's doing that, I think one of my favorite things during the rebuild, other than me trying to explain to people how great James Shields was the love-hate relationship that me and Beef Loaf had with Matt Davidson throughout the rebuild.
Yes.
Like we were not apologetic about being very wishy-washy on him. Like he would have like a terrible game and we'd be like, this is not a Major League Baseball player. We need to get rid of him.
Yeah.
And then he did a home run the next day and we'd be like, we're fanboys. It's all about Matt Davidson.
All in on Matty. That's
I
right.
think he's
going
gonna
to
hit
hit
40
3
home
bombs
runs.
in opening day 3 years ago.
Yeah, at
2018.
KC. At KC.
At
that's
KC,
right.
and I remember, to throw some sabermetrics out there, he was worth like 0.7 WAR after the first game of the season. Yeah,
One game.
And what did he end the season at?
probably 0.5 WAR.
Shot his load in one game.
He probably had a couple points added to that because he pitched a couple flawless innings.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
He's
The
Sebi
modern
Zavala
days-
himself.
It's Sebi Zavala.
I always wanted them to give Palka a chance at pitching. Because
he pitched at Georgia Tech a little
Yeah,
bit.
he
Yeah,
pitched a little bit.
and,
at Georgia
and
Tech.
like I'm quoting this and I can't remember if it's accurate, but I'm almost positive it is. But like at his whip in like his last year when he was closing was .69.
Oh, yeah.
I
which
think it
just
was. I think that's
which
right.
just
He was
is like
probably
perfect
trying
Palka
for
stat.
that.
Yes. Like
Yes.
he probably faked an injury the last
Yes.
game to not ruin it. Like
Can't do it today, Skip.
it was like John Kruk getting the 3,000th hit and being like, I'm retired. I'll see you guys later.
peace. I love that fucking guy. I really hope he gets back to me. If he doesn't get back in 5 minutes, we're just gonna call him.
Yeah,
Fuck
that's
it.
fine.
What about so Palka? Obviously, what else is there?
I think the Davidson thing, I think, like the fun I had with the James Shields thing was good. I don't know, Beef, my Sox Summer.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I agree with you. We were incredibly wishy-washy on Matt Davidson. We were always looking also for like the gem that Rick Hahn has found. We were like, people were like, oh, maybe Dylan Covey can be a guy, or and there's
He
a
had
lot
those
of
few
that.
like complete game 3-hit shutouts.
He was like a few guys that were like, this isn't really a guy, but he might be a guy.
Yeah.
And then they all shit all over themselves. Like none of them became anything that we could hold on.
Not
to.
one, right?
No.
Know what?
James
Tommy
McCann.
Canley.
What's that?
I mean, he signed a huge deal. He was shit
Yeah.
this year.
James McCann. Yeah, that's true.
He was a scrap bin pickup.
Yep, that's true.
Tommy Canley turned in. I know that trade hasn't done shit, but at the time it looked good. He was a good pickup.
Yeah.
They actually know what? Hahn did do a good job flipping relievers like off the scrap heap. Not like
Not good return,
awesome.
Like, I mean, like
it's tough though because they don't always turn into something. You know?
Yeah, I
It's
mean, like I think people give him a lot of credit for that, but I think he did. There's some that I don't like, right? Like, I mean, like the Joaquim Soria thing, like
For the Hawaiian, what's his name?
Yeah, but
Cody.
we
Cody
paid like
Medeiros.
$9 million to get Joaquim. So it was like, would you have paid $9 million to trade for
Cody
Medeiros?
Yeah,
No.
that's fair. I didn't realize it was that much.
I don't even know who he is.
And then like they picked up Kelvin Herrera and it was just like, Kelvin Herrera is going to be great. It's like,
like,
why?
that was a-
his whole back is missing. Like he doesn't have a back on
And he
his
had no
body.
foot.
And his
foot.
foot
The
was
Liz
fell
Frank,
off and-
like
yeah.
he's fucked up.
I mean, that's.
I spent the whole rebuild praying that they didn't trade Jose Abreu. That was how I spent the rebuild.
Oh man.
Looking back,
Thank you
I
for
would
your
actually-
prayers.
Yeah, that worked.
I would, and we'll talk about him in a minute because obviously he's hot in the news. But Abreu, looking back, I bet you they didn't entertain a single fucking offer for him because no one was going to pay a boatload anyways.
Right.
But
I think that's got legs
And
because
looking-
they overpaid for him too, right? At the time, it looked like a big overpay.
How dare
when
you.
the-
I
on
don't
the
think so.
road, you
I
guys-
think
I
Beef
think he
Loaf
earned
wrote
his
it.
contract pretty well.
I think
Yeah.
Beef Loaf
Sure
wrote
you
a
guys
blog
said that.
specifically saying it wasn't an overpay.
I think I was the only one out there in them Twitter
No, I
streets
was-
saying
No,
it was not
Ken
overpaid.
was all
I
over
was on that too.
I
That's
would-
right, baby.
But I think you got
was
to
on that.
You got to think about it like what is the value of a power hitting first baseman on the trade market. I know what the value of Jose Abreu is to our team, and that
It's
what you could get on the
higher.
trade market,
Yes.
you'd never get enough.
Couldn't attain
Like
it, right?
those
It's,
guys worship him. I'm saying like the players do. Like that's his fucking team. I know Anderson's like the on the field flashy elder statesman, which is weird to say because he is young still.
Right.
But that's Abreu's team, and there's no shot they were ever trading him. And like this is where I differ from Ken, and I think probably all of us differ from Ken. I have no problem admitting when I was wrong. I didn't want them to re-sign him. I was like wrong side of 30. He was 33 when they re-signed him.
Yeah.
Wrong side of 30. Like he's
3 years.
progressively gone down the last couple years.
I was okay with it because I didn't know who was going to be the other first baseman. Like that,
Yeah.
There was someone messaged earlier in the season about like how he's not that great of a fielder, and it's like fine, but like who's the good fielder behind him that's going to hit as many home runs and drive in as many runs? Like there's not a guy like that. So like
Right.
I think he's a fantastic fielder.
He's
At least
certainly
now,
one.
yeah.
He's
hell
certainly
yeah, he
one.
is.
He's
He's
become one,
improved
yes.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
agree.
And when he's not there, it's noticeable that he's not there.
For
Like,
sure.
Every
100%.
time he's not out there, it's noticeable.
That's
I
that's
totally
what's
agree.
scary. Like I think we'll probably get into this shortly, but like when I was thinking about like Gavin Sheets starting a game at first base in the playoffs, I did not like it.
I think the missing piece of the Abreu analysis, when like what Dave was saying, he was, he had a year that wasn't as good, is when you look at every player, you're like, oh, that's the decline. When you zoom out and look at who are all-time great hitters, they have years like that, and then they pop it right back, and they have a 900
Paul
OPS.
Kanerko.
Yeah, exactly. So when you zoom back out, you say which first basemen are really good, and have these long careers. They'll have a year or two in there like that. So while it looked like regression, it actually wasn't.
What did Kanerko have?
2003, terrible.
Oh yeah,
He
that's-
had
Cost
no. I
us the
know that's
World
what I'm
Series that
asking.
year.
He had 440-ish career home runs. He
Yeah,
had a
something
couple
like
of
that.
stinker years where he had like 17, 18 bombs or some shit. He could have, if he didn't have those stinker years, he could have really been close to 500.
2003, 2008.
He had a
struggled.
couple bad years. Yeah.
Yeah, 2008 was rough.
They were playing Brian Daubach over him for a little bit.
The year that he retired, do you guys remember what Kanerko did prior to the All-Star break?
I remember he wasn't good.
No. I'm sorry.
You mean before?
So the year before,
the very last
his second
was
year
brutal.
last year.
Yeah.
His second to last year prior to the All-Star break, he was fucking killing the ball.
He did really well.
like
yeah.
340 prior to the break, and then he just fell off a cliff. And the next year, they kind
yeah.
of platooned him a little bit and gave him his.
Yeah, was that the year he was hitting like 400 on like May 1st or something ridiculous?
He
It
was
like, wow,
so goofy.
He's has
hit
a
well.
shot at the Hall. It popped into my head. I was in college at the time. I'm like, he really has a shot at the Hall if he like has some MVP type season and pushes 500. But obviously, the Hall are really good. Whatever, shit happens. But
You know
He's
what?
got a statue.
he's got a statue.
We
A
all
deserved
remember him
one.
for 2005 and all that in that era, but I swear he was, and this coming from a guy that hated him, he was really fucking good in like 2010, 11, 12,
Yeah.
those
Yes.
years there.
Yeah.
He was better than he was in 2005, I think.
You
Yeah,
go back
I
and
would
look
agree.
at those 2005 stats, and like those teams don't exist anymore. Like 270 with the 310 on base, and they're fucking just steamrolling teams, And I'm talking like those are best players.
Yeah. We just remember he's hitting a home run every day in the ALCS. I mean, that's
Correct.
that's the memories you have. You
Yep.
remember the Grand Slam in the World Series.
But to get back to Abreu, like I would have had no problem if they let him walk or just said thanks.
How dare
See
you?
you later. hey,
That's big
I'm
to
glad
admit
to
that
be
now.
wrong. I'm glad to be wrong. There's times when being wrong is a better thing, and you just don't admit
Admitting
that.
it, yeah.
Like, see, with Moncada, like the reason I started the ban list, which a lot of people have seen, is it was at the start of it. It's like you got to give these people a shot to develop. Like Moncada, everything that I was watching about him as a baseball player. And I've always struggled to put my thoughts to like words, even though I'm kind of a writer for a living, which is ironic. But
That's perfect.
Makes Barstool great.
But like I would watch him, and the adjustment to turning into a good hitter was way easier because like I would much rather have a player that's too patient and you can teach a player to be more aggressive way easier than teaching someone to lay off all the shit. That's why I was always terrified that Anderson was going to be a bust, because he would swing at absolutely fucking everything. Obviously, he's learned to adapt, and he's turned into a good player because of that. But like with
He
Ken,
still does swing at everything.
I'm like, dude, fucking chill. He's like 21 years old. He is doing everything right. It's gonna, and he's turned into like, I know he's not a superstar right now at this moment. He still could have a couple superstar years, but like
I chilled. I gave him 3 days.
that doesn't fucking
3
enough,
days.
right?
That's good enough. Impress me.
But like, but on the flip side, like Lurie Garcia has sucked forever.
But we didn't trade Chris Sale for Larry Garcia. That's the
Take that away from it. But like
Larry
Lurie
Garcia
Garcia,
slander.
like you have,
No, man, damn.
I can't stand him personally.
I
I
love the
can't
guy.
stand him.
Overhated.
guy.
Overhated.
All right, we're gonna.
I was gonna say, is there any way I could have a bathroom break?
Yeah. Go for it. We can pause for a sec. All right, bathroom break over. What an intermission. Is that what they call in the long ass movies?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're damn right.
Intermission is over. We're into the final round of the interview. I get this isn't even an interview. I hate calling it that, but we're gonna get Dan Polk on the phone. Let's go. He better fucking answer, man. This would make my day if Danny Polk answered. Here, Chorizy, can you since you're in the middle, can you do the honors?
Well, I don't think he knows me at all, so we'll give
He'll know you guys.
Let's see.
This is gonna be great.
This is gonna be great when he doesn't
Yeah,
answer.
when he does.
Yeah, he's not gonna answer.
It's like
It's-
White Sox Dave.
He'll
man.
text me
like,
back
"Wait a
like
minute,
2 days from
guys."
now, and he'll be like, "Sorry, man, was down mudding." We just did.
I
Like,
was noodling.
he was noodling.
Let's see. Oh,
Wait,
FaceTime unavailable.
Unavailable.
Son of
man.
Oh well, we'll get him. We'll get him soon. But
Sad.
We still get to do the shot.
Let's do the shot.
yeah,
for Dan.
to Dan Polka.
Dan, cheers.
Cheers.
highlight of the rebuild.
Thank you
right.
for that 2017.
18.
18.
Goes down smooth.
Do you guys like
once I said
Malort?
that, I was like, fuck, that's the wrong year.
It's fine.
It's not my favorite, but I'll do it. I mean,
People that's like demonize it to the point where it's like you can't drink it. I disagree. I would rather take a shot of Malort than like cheap plastic bottle vodka 1,000
Yes.
times
oh,
over.
for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Without a
cheap
doubt.
whiskey,
Cheap. Or it's
tequila,
like,
cheap
there's
tequila,
that
any cheap anything.
there's that Jewel brand plastic bottle tequila. It doesn't have a name.
Triple charcoal.
It's
filter.
just called tequila.
I can't do tequila, but this isn't too bad. I did this fine.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I do like good tequila. Good tequila is my favorite hard
yeah.
alcohol by far.
Yeah, me too.
We just had some smuggled
good
into the
tequila.
United States.
We did.
What, like in balloons in your assholes or something?
We wish.
potentially.
I'll send you a picture of the bottle, but it's legit like a syrup bottle, like that.
Like
Aunt
Aunt Jemima?
Yeah,
What
like
are
a
we
little glass syrup bottle.
It's got, like, the two
it's
handles on
obviously a syrup bottle, but it is full of tequila.
My dad brought home. This is 2-3 years ago from the Kentucky Derby. He brought home real moonshine, and
nice.
it wasn't like mass produced bottle. It was like you could tell someone like corked it and gave it to him.
Yep.
And he's like, "Try this," and I'm like, "Absolutely fucking not." Like that is gonna be fucking gasoline. And I swear to Christ, it was the smoothest shot I've ever taken.
Nice.
It was like water. To this day, it's the best hard alcohol. He's like, I spent $100 on that, and it was like backwoods Kentucky or Tennessee or wherever. Moonshine.
Yeah, I think there's some show about that, right? Because Chorizy, our old man, watches that, whatever that show is. He loves that show where they're doing all the moonshining and like they get in trouble for it and get caught. But it's like a whole process, the whole thing.
Yeah, I love he quit drinking and then he was like, I'm gonna watch this moonshine show. That's gonna be my favorite show now.
That's how he gets his fix.
Like Dukes of Hazzard shit.
Exactly.
You want to get horny? We can talk about Jessica Simpson.
Oh, we watched a different Dukes of Hazzard. I mean,
No, that's a new one,
Yeah.
newer one.
Well,
But
she
that
was still hot too.
Who was the original?
Jay-Z back then.
I
Yeah.
have no idea
I
who
don't
that
know her
actor
name.
was.
I don't know if I've even seen the original. I don't know. I've seen the music video for Boots Are Made for Walking. That's all the spank bank material Ken needs for the rest of his life, right, Ken?
I'm gonna go and say I will opt for "Dirty" by Christina Aguilera.
The what? Good choice, my friend.
Yeah.
Good choice, my friend.
Catherine Bach.
Catherine Bach. What's she look like?
You beat me to it.
Oh, she was a smoke
Yeah,
show.
she's
That's
so
a-
hot.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
I know I got like, I don't know how to put this properly, but girls you can tell from like decades and decades ago that were young back then that are like smokes. Like the picture in Shawshank. I forget who it is. That he crawls through the poster.
Oh yeah.
I like seeing like how hotness has evolved over the years.
No, you're right about that. Yeah, because they're made up differently. You know?
Right, exactly.
It's how
Different
we dress
styles,
and how we look.
Hairstyles,
and how we,
yeah.
Same thing with dudes. I mean, so, you know, some eras are beards and some eras are clean shaven.
I gotta fucking find it. In 6th grade, I had like legit bleach blonde hair, like piss yellow.
Oh wow.
Bleach blonde hair, and like that was what we did. Like my mom would get the $10 box from Jewel or wherever, and you could feel it burning your scalp. No, leave it in longer. It needs to be brighter. Like I looked like fucking Dexter Holland of the Offspring.
I was going to ask if you were in the Reggae Sound System 311.
I pretty much was.
I'm a little older than you. I had the Vanilla Ice shaved on the sides of my head.
That's right.
How old are you, Ken?
41.
That sounded like
I will be
just
42
lied.
within a month.
Okay. We're like the same age, Ken.
Yeah.
So I had when I was young, I had the Rick Vaughn. I had the cut out of the back of the head.
triangle.
Yeah.
The zigzag.
awesome.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm an old motherfucker in this table.
Yeah, you are.
I had the. You can watch it like. Who's an example? Okay, who's the kid with the glasses in Billy Madison? That's like his buddy. I think he's the one that pisses himself.
Yeah, I forget what the kid's name
What's the
is.
kid's? He has like the hair parted down the middle, and it's like long.
Yeah, the flop on both sides.
Yeah, the flop on both sides. I had that.
Yeah, that
now-
was popular like when we were in high school.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah,
right,
that's
Treasy?
90s.
That was when I was
Yeah.
like elementary school, middle school.
That
Yeah.
lines up. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, college was the long hair but shaved completely underneath.
Yeah.
You know.
That's
That
how
was-
So you had to like comb it over.
No, I didn't. There was no comb over, man. It was
No,
it
they
hung
just
down,
let it
and, or
flow.
they
What?
pulled it back, and then it was just completely.
I don't know if
shaved
I've
on the
ever
sides.
seen either of you guys with your hair flowing. You usually have it in the bun.
Yeah, it's I keep it tied up because I get too hot.
How long we talking?
It's like down to here.
Okay, like shoulder length about.
Yeah.
Yours is the same.
Yeah, about that, or maybe a little longer.
Every time I go to the
I take
barber,
mine out, but I have to put it back in.
There you go. I got the flow out now.
there we go. I
Got
love
the
it.
Chris Elliott level of grease in his hair.
That's just my natural juices and berries.
I would kill to have your guys' head of hair. I would like that. I'm not even saying like have the hairstyle, just the ability to do that. I don't think I could. I think my hair just would stop growing at one point and just like pause, like the
Would
pause
just pull
button.
up. It'll pull up for a 15-foot jumper. It wouldn't go any further.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That's kind of like me. I can't get it like past here, you know?
I just get the rat tail in the back that like slowly crawls down my neck, and I just look disgusting. But
If you get a BMX bike to go with that rat tail, you're
I
fine.
had a Gary Fisher. It was sick.
You're set. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Gary Fisher. Did you guys have Gary Fishers?
No.
I had a Gary Fisher.
Gary Fisher. I had a buddy that had a dyno.
Yeah, dinos were the
I have no idea. Are you guys talking about bikes?
Yeah.
BMX bikes.
Oh,
Did it have
Treasy and I
pegs?
grew up in the
Oh,
city.
yeah,
we
we
didn't ride bikes.
They stole
Yeah.
bikes. They didn't ride them. They just stole them.
Yeah.
We didn't ride bikes.
We had
we had
dinos by us.
We stole the chrome caps off of people's cars and sold them to the kids with bikes.
That's right.
Scumbags. Have you guys bought acid off Chief lately?
Actually, just mushrooms. I'm trying to keep it natural.
Wait, does Chief sell?
I'm really mad that
mushrooms?
No,
that's
I will.
Yet?
Disclaimer: Chief does not sell drugs.
Allegedly.
Then I'm glad he's not here.
He does not sell drugs, but there is a picture floating around the internet. I just got done running. I think it was a 4.240 in the parking lot of our old office, and Chief was filming it, and you guys said he looked like an acid dealer at Lollapalooza.
I said he looked like a guy that sold me drugs at a Fish concert.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
And he's wearing an ill-fitting shirt. So when I met him and he didn't have boobs, I was like, what the hell's going on here? Like, I thought he looked totally different. So I'm really mad he didn't stick around to meet the 108 guys. It's just kind of bums me
You
out.
met him, right?
You know what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've met him a few times, and I think he's intimidated by our hair.
Yeah.
See, because
That is true.
Dave, you're like, oh, you were willing to admit, like, oh, I wish I had hair like you guys. Chief is trying to put his hair up against ours, and like it's
Yeah, you got thick ass hair too.
Yeah, he's got no chance.
I mean,
Eddie's
Chief's not even number one in
Eddie's
this
got the
office.
best
Yeah.
hair in the office.
Yeah, for
Tom's
sure.
got good hair
It's
too. I don't know,
underestimated.
He's somewhere around here.
I've only seen Tom with a hat on, so I think we're gonna.
Yeah, he
gotta get
conveniently switched from his Yankees hat to the White Sox hat today.
I appreciate
Strong
it.
play. Yeah.
I fucking love just ripping on Yankees fans. Do you guys yuck it up with the other fan bases at all?
Not really.
I don't.
Yeah, when they come
I've never
around,
noticed.
Cubs,
No, they don't-
little Cubs.
Yeah, well,
but
that's-
other than that, no.
Right. Yeah. Not too much interaction.
Yeah,
I mean,
we'll
when
get
we go
s-
to another stadium, they don't care for us.
Yeah,
in general.
no.
That's
Especially
just a
in
general
Detroit.
rule. Yeah. No, they didn't like us in Detroit.
like actually.
Man, that
Yeah,
was,
like people yelling at us.
Well, so-
sit the fuck down.
So you got to realize. So we went. We
I
were
won't
there
say,
with
I won't
Wally.
say what we said back.
Was it 2019? We went there.
Yeah, or 18 maybe, something like that.
18 or 19, and they were bad at that point.
Yeah.
And so we went there towards the end of the season, and so every ticket was cheap. So we sat like right behind home plate.
I
We're in,
remember.
like,
I've seen the
we're
with
like
the Flint
sixth row.
Tropics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have the
Flint
Flint
Tropics
Tropics
jerseys on. And so, I mean, and the Sox were doing well. We were enjoying the hell out of it, and no one liked it. In fact, the beer vendors stopped coming down to us. And I was literally waving the guy who I had tipped like $20 like 5 minutes before. I'm like, come down here, and he just like looked over at me and then looked away. It was reminiscent of my life in college going to the bars. Like I'd be waving over to some girl, hey, why don't you come over here? Let's chat. And she looks, makes eye contact, and then you knew I never want to talk to you my whole life. All right. I couldn't believe I was getting it from a beer vendor in 2018.
Me and my wife, my dad, and my brother went to a game in 2005 in Detroit, and Frank Thomas, when he was healthy, he played a few weeks there, and he hit a home run in had to be the 13th inning, something like that, and it ended up being the game winner. And after they won, we were cheering, and somebody from the upper deck launched a beer, and it hit my wife. Then not my wife, but now she's my wife, right in the head. and they replayed that game during the pandemic when they were replaying games.
Yeah.
And they showed the footage. I never saw it, and they got her like soaked and stuff because
Did you defend your wife's honor?
I did not. I loved it. But
See,
she hates Detroit to
it's
this
not
day.
a bit.
Not a
It's
bit.
not a bit.
Not
It
a
is
bit.
as sincere.
I'm
as,
with her. Detroit fans are horrible.
No, this is what I've always said. I was in Detroit like sorry, I changed
You're
avenues
fine.
right there, but I was in Detroit like a month ago, and I didn't say this out loud, but I banned the stadium. It was like the 9th inning, and I've been to Detroit twice now in the last like 6 months, 8 months or whatever. First 2 times I've ever been there, and the stadium setup's kind of cool because they're all like right there, right downtown.
Yep.
And it was like the 8th inning. I want to say they were playing the Red Sox, and there was nobody there. It was a day game. It was probably a getaway day, and the center, or it would have been more right field. The right field concourse, the gates were like wide open. So I just wanted to go in there to like peek. And they're like, "Hey, do you got tickets?" I'm like, "No, I'm just going in. I'm going to get a beer. Is that okay?" And they're like, "You got to go get tickets." They were trying to charge me $40 to get in there. I'm like, what? Absolutely not. It's the fucking 8th inning. It was legit at the 8th inning. I'm like, I just want to go see the stadium from out of town. I'm going to I'm going to stimulate the economy inside by drinking some beer.
That's right.
And they're like, I'm like, get the fuck out of my face. So they're banned. They're banned. And I hold grudges as good as anybody.
Not as good as me, pal.
Oh boy.
No, that's true. Other than Ken.W.o.
So if they're on the ban list, does that mean that stadium cannot come inside of Comiskey Park?
No, it means they won't get a cent of my money ever.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, damn.
Until probably next year, I'll probably. Okay.
You'll forget.
I'll forget, yeah.
I liked Old Tiger Stadium. I went there. It was awesome. It was the closest thing to Old Comiskey. So I was a big fan of going there, and it was gritty. That wasn't downtown in the nice part. That was in the bad part of Detroit, and it was a lot of fun. I loved it there. Unfortunately, the new one's not as good as that. So
We like different things then, Ken.
Yeah.
Like you're like I don't like this new stadium in a nice area where I
Yeah.
can get a drink right after the
I need
game.
to get
I like the
threat of
scary
getting
area
I loved it. I loved it.
with
It
the
was my
shitty
kind-
park.
My kind of area.
yeah.
Those are your peeps.
Those
right
are my
there.
people.
It's not a bit. It is not a bit.
Not a bit.
Like, he probably went.
And I was like
some
12 years old then.
Some dude dumps a beer all over his wife, and he probably went up there and like fist bumped him and bought him a beer. He's like, she shouldn't have been jumping around in your stadium like that.
I see you spilled your beer. Here's a new one.
Here's another one. Absolutely.
That's funny.
Sorry.
God damn
Dealing
it,
with
Dave.
Ace. I'm dealing with Ace shit.
That's
Ace
all right.
says in my brother's late to his vet appointment, blah, blah, blah.
Fucking Ace.
Anyways, how would you guys like to wind this down?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I could sit here for another 5 hours, but
Well, you'd miss your flight.
I've done that before.
That'd be fun.
That might be
Don't do that.
For you. Yeah. So every time I go out to New York now, they're like, all right, be out here on Thursday. I always fly in the day before to avoid what happened.
Yeah, that was something.
I was in Chicago at 10 a.m., in New York at 2 p.m., and back in Chicago at 5 p.m. that day.
I thoroughly enjoyed that.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
It's fantastic.
I'm sure you did. My dad enjoyed it. He's like, you shouldn't have been late. I'm like, my fucking flight was delayed. I can't control that.
This lines up beautifully.
Yeah. So I probably watch me. Now I'm going to be all paranoid that I'm going to miss my flight.
You're not going to miss your flight.
No, I got.
Hey, you want to go to the bar after this?
I mean, hey,
Are you hungry?
I said it at the beginning of the show. Wait, let's do that because you guys do your ranking, we do our rankings. What is your guys' favorite beer? Like situation around a beer.
Oh,
okay,
yeah. Yep. That's a good one. You had mentioned the I'll leave that one off. I will say that a shower beer right when you get to the resort on vacation.
That's a
is
great
like
beer.
one of the best ones.
That's a great beer.
Go ahead. Good.
I'm going to take it before you take it.
You won't take mine.
You sure?
Yeah.
The Friday after work beer on Loaf's deck before we go over for like a 3-game homestand
Hell yeah.
is like quite possibly one of the best ones. And I don't smoke anymore, but I used to smoke like 6 cigarettes from the train to Loaf's house. And then just grab a beer, crack that motherfucker, and just start drinking while smokes are still in my mouth. And it was just like I'm ending like my stressful week and just like now I'm getting to become, into that next baseball persona guy and just go have fun for 3 days.
That
wasn't yours?
Did you ever use the patch?
I didn't. I used those little mints, like the mini ones, because the big ones would give me like acid reflux, but the little ones didn't. So, and then I mean, that was the one really good thing that happened with me with the pandemic. It's like I was like, I can't smoke with 2 kids and a wife at home all the time, even during the pandemic.
Like I imagine you like putting a patch on and then like walking down the street. You got a dog?
No.
Okay, like imagine him walking a dog down the street. And then all of a sudden he gets that urge and he just rips it off and starts like licking it to get it to the face. I'm bad. I can't I used to be able to dip like I dip nonstop. It's bad. It's very bad.
You'll get over it one day. I got over it.
well,
I used to smoke like crazy and then I smoked too much. And then you just, at some point, you're just like, you know what? I'm done.
So Dave dips. Any of the rest of you guys dip or no?
I was going to offer you guys one.
No,
I
I'm not a
don't
dip guy. Like if I'm gonna ingest tobacco, I'm not gonna eat it.
You don't need it. I sometimes do.
Just kind of.
I will be ingesting it on the flight tonight because I'm going to have to wear a mask and I'm just going to be packing one. I'll just gut it.
Oh man, that's impressive. And
I got a cement maker.
So you're gonna take the airplane beer, which is
airport beer.
Airport beer. One of the best.
You're spending
one of the best
$13 on a 6-ounce beer.
But then you're gonna ruin it with an airplane shit, which is just like the worst.
See,
shit
my
of
body
all.
knows. My body. I've shit here once, and I think it was because I had like shitty Mexican food the night before.
Oh man!
But my
We just
body
call it food.
typically, yeah. You guys just call it food. My body knows I got to be on my home turf. Yeah. It's very good about that.
I remember when I was young and only pooped on home turf. Never had to pull up in a questionable Target toilet.
I mean,
Target field toilet.
Target field
That's
toilet.
for me.
I've told this story a few times. This is when I first moved downtown. This is like 2013 or 14. I called my dad to bum $100 off him, and he had to figure out a way for my sister to get it to me without like exchanging cash and me going out to the suburbs. I'm like, I didn't want to take. So I was living in Ukrainian Village at the time. My buddy was living in the West Loop. In order to save as much money as possible, so my buddy won Kenny Chesney. He was like the 10th caller on one of the radio stations. He won 2 Kenny Chesney tickets at Soldier Field. So he calls me. He's like, "Hey, do you want to go?" And I'm not a country, but I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely, fuck yeah, it's free concert. Why the fuck not?" So I instead of spending like $8 on an Uber, I walked from Ukrainian Village all the way to West Loop, which is a good 2.5 miles, and I had $100, and it was like that Half-Baked scene where he's out with Mary Jane and he's like counting down like, all right, I just spent $4 on 2 ice cream cones. Like now I got $96. And it was one of those situations. And we went to the concert, had a good time, got super fucked up, and that night we got home and for some reason we ordered Sarpinos. And at the time I had one of the unlimited Divvy memberships. So I crashed at his place in the West Loop, and I'm like, it's, I don't know, 8:30, 9 o'clock the next morning. I'm like, I'm not going to Uber because I don't have any fucking money. I'm going to Divvy. About halfway, I'm going northbound on Milwaukee, and it was just and I'm like, oh fuck, like and it's only like a 15-minute bike ride. It's a quick bike ride, and it's broad daylight out, and I'm like looking for alleys to ditch this Divvy. I'm like, I'm gonna go shit behind that dumpster. Oh fuck, someone's back there smoking a cigarette. I docked the Divvy, and like Hawk used to say it all the time. I got directly in front of my apartment, and if I would have taken one more step, I would have just shit my fucking pants. And it was literally, if you couldn't pull a greased tee from my ass cheeks. So I'm standing there like a statue in front of my building, and I'm just like, fuck, what do I do? I took another, and it was Brett. You guys have seen it. I just shit my fucking pants. So I get upstairs. I throw my shitty underwear in the fucking garbage. I shit my brains out for a good 10 minutes. I felt relieved finally. And then I went and, disposed of the evidence, and that was that. That was probably about 7-ish years ago.
And ordered another Sarpino.
I'm sure I did, yeah. Like, all right, Sunday's here. Let's do it. Hey, let's get ready to go. Order up some food and watch some fucking football or whatever it was.
I don't know if Eddie's still here, but I told him over Twitter that I am the first investor that he needs to get into Uber shits. That is like the greatest idea I have ever heard. Like, you feel that first bubble starting, call it up. It's right there. Go in there, take care of business. Genius idea. Actually, I'm all in on that.
There is one. I was at a concert at Joe's. This is like also 5-6 years ago, and I feel like I'm past the point of statute. Is that what a statute of limitations?
Yeah.
And I didn't want to shit in the Joe's on Weed bathroom, so this is like at midnight, and it was the same thing. And so I went behind the Whole Foods and just leaned against the thing, and it was like a foot of snow. So the snow was like creeping up to my asshole, and I'm like, it's getting close. It's getting close, and you could see the steam coming like between my legs. And there was an empty case of Smirnoff, and that's what I used to wipe my ass.
I love that this started with you telling us how you have like an iron gut. Like,
yeah.
And then we find out you're a habitual street shitter.
Yeah.
It's all over the streets. So, Chorizy, what's your favorite beer? The guy sitting next to Dave on the plane when he shits his pants. So my favorite. I don't know how I can follow this story. My favorite beer is typically the Vegas morning beer, and it's usually with beef. And this has to be with like a trusted best friend. Like that can kind of guide you through the day,
the whole day,
right? Like, because you've got to look over at this person. You're like at the table, you're playing like Pai Gow at like 6, 7 in the morning, and you look over at this person. What are you gonna order? And then when it's like, I'm getting a beer, and it's like, I'm gonna take a nap today. That's you're like we're gonna start right now.
That's the kind of day we're
gonna be on fire for like
down.
5-6 hours. Get our bets in on the games because we're gonna miss the afternoon ones. And that's that beer where you're just kind of like, you and your buddy are like, we're committing to this right now. That's a delicious beer.
And that's got to be so on a Vegas trip. First night, you're ready to rock.
It's just crazy.
You wake up, and I don't think a hangover exists on that first morning after the first night. The second day is when you just go fucking wild. And then that third day, you're like, I got to tone it back. And then the fourth day, you're like, give me the fuck on that plane.
That's right.
Get me the fuck out of this city.
My favorite beer, also Vegas related, but it's the first beer at like 10 or 11 o'clock when the pool opens and you're sitting out there at the pool. Oh, man, there's nothing better than that. That's my favorite.
The first time I ever went to Vegas, I was 22. I went out with $2,500 cash. No, I left out it would have only been a debit card at the time, I'm sure. But
did Hooters have a pool, though?
Hooters did have a pool. So me and a couple people stayed at Hooters, and then we went to the rehab pool party at Hard Rock, which is where the other half, it was 10 of us total, high school buddies.
Man, you need a credit card for that.
So
not a debit card.
I left my phone and my wallet in the Hard Rock Hotel, and I got so blacked out. And earlier that day, I bought a pair of Folkleys off a street vendor.
Folkleys.
And I bought them for $30, I remember. They were fake Oakleys, and I was wearing them in the pool and everything. And I came to in the parking garage, like beneath sea level. And I'm walking around. I had no shoes, no wallet. I had a shirt on and like Hawaiian bathing suit. And I'm walking around. I finally get up to the street level, and I'm like, I got to get back to Hooters. I got to get my shit. And I take one step on the concrete, and it was in August. It was so hot that my bottom of my feet were like burning. So I like find shade so my feet weren't frying off my body. And I'm like, I can't walk this mile right now. I don't know what I'm going to do. So I hailed a cab. This is like prior to Uber. This is like 2012 or 13. And I get there and I act like I lost my wallet. And I'm like looking around the seat, and he's like, you scam me. And he looked at me and he goes, are those real sunglasses? And I'm like, yep. And I gave him the sunglasses that I bought a few hours earlier. So I get to my hotel, didn't have my key, didn't have my phone. I had no way to prove it was my fucking hotel. So they wouldn't let me in my room. I get back into another thing over to back to the Hard Rock. I just bullshitted him, and he said, get the fuck out of my Uber, you fucking thief. And he didn't charge me. He just stormed off. I was knocking on doors trying to find whatever room it was because I had no fucking – they wouldn't give me the room number for my buddy whose room it was. And I'm just knocking on – oh, sorry, it's your fucking family. Like, oh, I was looking for my buddies. And that was like, that was first time I went to Vegas.
Place.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah.
That's a lot of rooms to check. You know?
I want to know how many people have the story. Yeah, we're just in the Hard Rock, and I'm just I'm sitting there with my kids, and then
this random fucking
this
drunk
maniac
asshole
comes and he tries to sell me Oakleys that he's not even wearing.
With burnt feet.
I learned about this guy. He's a cowboy living in New York now. I don't know. Some sports thing.
Ken, I agree with your. That's a great beer. That beer makes
beer.
you contemplate like a life of crime because you're just like, I wish I could have this every day.
Yeah.
And you're like,
oh yeah.
How many banks would I have to rob to do this?
And for the first hour or so, you're sitting there, you're having a couple of them, and you're like,
They go down so easy.
They go down so easy, and you're like, I'm never going back.
Stay here. Right?
Never
Stay
going
here.
back.
Fuck them kids.
Yeah.
They'll
Never
figure
going
it
back.
out.
But yeah, I'm gonna have a few airport cocktails tonight. I'm very excited about it. I think that's just an excellent beer.
Yeah,
an excellent
absolutely.
beer.
No question
Very
about
good
it.
beer.
So we'll wind up here. We're like, what do we got to say to Sox fans right now? Like as a whole, like, I don't know. Congratulations, we made it. How do we wind? Because this is like, and we'll do this every year from now on, to like enter the postseason, assuming that this isn't a one-off thing.
This is not a one-off thing.
It's not. But we made it, I guess.
I think it's an enjoy the ride while we're here, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
fuck
like,
yeah.
you can be anxious about what's going to happen, and you could get really nervous about this, but like enjoy the fact that you're getting this playoff game because like everyone at this table could tell you it might not happen for a while, right? Like so just right. Enjoy it and that's how we went into 2005. I remember me and Beef went to I basically spent half my rent money to go to a game.
That's right. ALDS won.
Yeah, and I went in there with no expectations. I just went in there going like, okay,
and they beat the shit out of
I get to see my
game.
team in a playoff game. I'm excited. I'm just gonna enjoy the shit out of this. And man, did I enjoy that game. And then enjoy the rest of the playoff run. So I think take that attitude if you're a Sox fan. Just be like, you're like Andy. We again mentioning Shawshank, but we went through the mile of shit now.
The 500 yards of shit or whatever.
So we're there. So let's enjoy this.
Yeah.
Let's not just
rain
go,
gif when the rain's falling on them.
Enjoy this. Don't. We didn't accomplish it all yet. There's still a lot of expectations you should have for the team, but don't get all nervous about it. Don't think about all the bad things that could happen. enjoy the ride. Ken, you're going to say something completely
Going
different.
off of that, you said you spent half your rent check. So I didn't drop the money to go to the Field of Dreams game, and I will regret that the rest of my life. Even if they do it again, but you're never going to duplicate that. And I wish I would have dropped it would have probably been about $4,000 to get the tickets, hotels, gas, blah, blah, blah. I wish I would have just done it. Mm-hmm. If you're 20 years old and you got, $500 and fucking do it. Do it. Go and get those tickets and spend whatever you got to do to be in there. Go do it because, it seems like a lot of money now. It's not.
Yeah, enjoy that experience. Get your ass in
enjoy
there.
it. Fuck
That's right.
yeah.
I have been to every home playoff game since I've been alive. So 83, 93.
Oh,
Wow.
damn.
The only one I missed was Game 2 of the World Series because I didn't want to spend $1,000 on the ticket.
You wish you would have?
And yeah, I wish I would have. And my whole thing was, we have 2 tickets. My dad's gonna go because he hasn't seen this, and he's a lot older than me and my brother. And I was like, you know what? We were at Game 1. I'm gonna let my brother go to Game 2 because I'm being greedy and I want to see Game 6 when we win it all. And Game 6 never happened.
Right.
And I wish I would have spent $1,000 to go to Game 2. I didn't do it, so do it. Like
go and do it. Just go and do it.
Yeah, I think right now as Sox fans, we're not used to being in this spot, and I agree with you guys. Like, enjoy the moment, or whatever. But what I want you to do is, if this is going to be a perennial thing, we're going to be in the playoffs all the time. Start finding players on the other teams to hate. Start finding rivals in the other squads, people that we're going to meet up with. Houston's good; they'll probably stay good. I mean, they have some free agents that are rolling off. So the first matchup here finds like that ugly motherfucker, Yordan Alvarez. I already hate his guts. Make sure you find someone on the other teams that you hate, and this way you'll have a little extra momentum for the games when they actually go through.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's good. When you were talking about what you like best about the rebuild, and off the field was that we all came together as like a fan base.
We really did.
We're like, hey, we're in the
those
suck,
fans.
and then us as, and us as content producers, like this was so much fun because we started at literally ground fucking floor,
Nothing.
and moved all the way up. So we earned this as much as anybody on that field. So. Might as well fucking enjoy it. And I'm kidding when I say that. We don't deserve it as much as everybody on the field. But we definitely had a really good run, and it's come to fruition. Let's fucking get out there and just, enjoy these fucking games.
I want Carlos
because
Correa
we've earned it.
shitting his pants like he ate Sarpinos at 2 a.m. the night before because that fucking stadium's so loud.
I hope there's a Whole Foods.
And I hope he doesn't find an alley. I hope he doesn't get to the right room in the Hard Rock. I hope none of that, and he just shits everywhere.
Right on his divvy.
Yeah, right on the divvy. Ken? Anybody? You said your piece?
Well, I would say, don't get nervous and enjoy it and all that stuff. But the problem is they're going to get nervous. Hell, I'm nervous right now. I might shit in the alley after this show. We're less than 24 hours away.
They just paved it today. It's fresh.
Oh, beautiful. There you go.
Our next viral video.
Yeah, but try to get to the games and hopefully they go far. I don't really have anything else to say. Hopefully they do it.
I guess just and there go White Sox.
Yeah,
this is the best fucking fan base on earth. I really think so.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's
Fuck
smaller,
everybody else.
but it's tight knit. Thanks to social, I hate social media, but at the same time, like it's got a lot of bad things going about it. But at the same time, like a White Sox Twitter community is awesome.
You can't
really
go.
is.
You can't go mind to page, and you hate social media.
And
Good career choice.
I mean, I didn't go out really pursuing it. I just got offered it. I'm like, sure. Sounds
Fuck
good.
it, I'll do this. I can wear a hat, right? Yep. Yeah, I'm in.
Dave, real quick, Abreu flu game. That's what we're gonna get to.
See.
Hit the cycle in the playoffs.
That's right, baby.
That guy. If as soon as I heard he had negative test, I'm like,
He's gonna go on a
horrible
rampage,
stomach.
a warpath.
He's gonna have a horrible stomach tomorrow, and he is going to hit 3 home runs.
I think his name is Mike Leach on Twitter. I can't remember. I'm sorry if you're listening. I can't remember your name, but you know who you are, and people should know. But at the beginning of the year, the Sox were scuffling there. I think they're 18-18 on whatever it was, and I started flying out the handle. And I always try to be even keeled with wins and losses. It's a long season. And I flew off the handle at one point, and he wrote me this. It had to have been 280 characters, on the dot. Dude, this is the stories all coming together right now. It's all coming together right now. And I thought about it, and I wish I should have pulled this tweet up, but I didn't think of it, whatever. But there are a lot of good storylines along this whole season. Starting with Jeremy
Amazing.
Mercedes, before that, Eloy going down.
Eloy's hurt.
Tony
Fucking
La Russa.
Robert's hurt. You get a manager you don't like.
Right.
You have your ace comes out and struggles as a pitcher. Like it's just there was so
Carlos
many
Rodon
things.
comes out of nowhere.
Carlos
Out of
Rodon,
nowhere,
but that's
yeah.
a good thing.
Well, good
You
and
know,
bad.
but
all
it's
kinds
just
of
like,
storylines.
but through all that shit that just got shoveled down our throat within the first like month and a half of the season, like it just totally did a total rebirth and just changed. And you saw things happen, and it was just you had your Goodwin, you had your
The Goodwin walk-off,
Hamilton,
yep.
You had all these guys come up and just play their ass off. Next guy up. And it worked out, and it got us to where we're at, and now we got everybody back, and we're circling the wagons, and it's just gonna get fucking nuts.
And
Houston,
that
right?
like it's
Damn right.
I've never ever had a feeling like I do about this team, and I've been saying this very, very on the record for a month or so now. I just got this eerie feeling. I could be way wrong. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I know that this can be very misconstrued on the internet, but like I got an eerie feeling they're just going to go on a fucking warpath. I really and they have the talent to do so, and I really think so.
I got that same feeling because this morning I bet $1,000 on the series price at plus 110.
baby.
White Sox to take this shit down. Putting my money where my mouth is.
Did you really do that?
I did do that.
My
yeah.
God. The last time I was in Vegas,
We didn't know
that. I lost 2 tickets. They're somewhere in my apartment. I got to tear my apartment upside down. I got White Sox to win the AL and the World Series at plus 800 and plus 1,000, I want to say.
Nice.
So I got to tear my fucking apartment up, hopefully,
baby.
to find those tickets in a month. So
I hope Ace didn't need them.
I feel like they are either going to do what you're saying, go on a warpath, or they're going to explode and implode and lose the first 3 games, and that's it.
don't even
It's one of the
talk that
two.
into
It's one of the two. Sorry, had to do
So
it.
Ken, you feel like we get past Houston?
If we get past
got it. We're in
Houston,
good
we
shape.
got it.
I
That's the
agree
toughest
with that.
series,
I
in my
really agree
opinion.
with that. I really agree with that. So fuck Houston. Thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
having
for
us.
having
so
us.
much.
One
It
away,
was a lot of
10.
fun.
Appreciate you, my friend.
And we'll do this again after the World Series, after the parade and everything. How's that sound?
Yeah, we'll do it on the
Freaking
floor.
wonderful. Let's
This was
do
a
it,
great
baby.
45
from the
minutes.
floor.
Appreciate it.
Hey, I mean,
That's how we do.
I
now.
have,
we knew. We knew.
Yeah,
We knew.
Hell yes. We all chat.
I love it.
Right, baby.
And Sox fans are gonna love this. I think. I hope.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Absolutely. Let's go Sox, baby.
let's go
Fucking
Sox.
right. Let's do it.
Go Sox.
Let's go.